Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku got stuck in a parallel universe part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 2, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story top 5 from Wattpad. So let's start the video. The prologue. Before I start this, I want to let you know this is when Izuku became a vigilante. Izuku is fighting 𝗳𝗏𝗏 and they are both injured. 𝗳𝗏𝗏, you are getting tired boing Izuku. I could say the same about you. Izuku jumps at 𝗳𝗏𝗏 and lands a punch into his gut, sending him flying. 𝗳𝗏𝗏 recovers and shots a blast at Izuku. Izuku dodges it, but the shockwave of the blast hitting the ground behind him pushes him a few feet away. Izuku rolls on the ground but recovers. 𝗳𝗏𝗏, how about we end this, Deku-ch? Izuku, I couldn't agree more. 𝗳𝗏𝗏, they both begin to power up themselves and both reel their arms back. 𝗳𝗏𝗏, this is where you fall, he says as he dashes at Izuku. Izuku dashes at 𝗳𝗏𝗏. 𝗳𝗏𝗏 throws his charged punch at Izuku, but Izuku was faster, as he dodges the punch and hits 𝗳𝗏𝗏 in the 𝗧𝗜𝗧𝗍, piercing through 𝗳𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗍. And it's quiet. Izuku still has his arm in 𝗳𝗏𝗏𝗍 and 𝗳𝗏𝗏 falls to the floor. Izuku, it's over all for one. 𝗳𝗏𝗏, 𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗏, as 𝗳𝗏𝗏 is about to die. Someone is watching this unfold and it's 𝗬𝗧𝗍𝗍. 𝗬𝗬𝗧𝗍, I will send him to the void of space. 𝗬𝗬𝗧𝗍 opens a portal under Izuku and it begins to suck Izuku in. Izuku, 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Izuku tries to break free but can't, he is too tired from the battle. Suddenly an explosion hits 𝗬𝗬𝗧𝗍𝗍, messing up the portal. Bakugo, Izuku. He screams as he sees Izuku being into the portal. Bakugo grabs Izuku's hand and tries to pull him out. As Bakugo is trying to save, 𝗬𝗬𝗧𝗍 runs at him and tries to attack Bakugo, but is attacked by Uraraka. Izuku is trying to hold on, but he notices that 𝗳𝗏𝗏 trying to get away. Izuku, Kaken, you have to stop 𝗳𝗏𝗏. Bakugo, 𝗵𝗵𝗃 nerd, I can't. Izuku, forget about me and end him for goods. Bakugo, no, I can save you. 𝗵𝗵𝗃. Izuku, Katsuki, it, just listen to me and stop him before it is too late. This is the only chance we have. Bakugo, no. Izuku can see tears coming out of Bakugo's eyes. Izuku has a soft smile. Izuku, Kaken, please. Bakugo doesn't say anything until he sees 𝗳𝗏𝗏 getting up. Izuku, Kaken, please, if he escapes then we will never defeat him, this can be our only chance. Bakugo, but Bakugo is interrupted by 𝗳𝗏𝗏 as he is charging a blast. Izuku, Kaken, I trust you, I know you can stop him, but you have to let me go. Bakugo, I can't. Izuku can see that 𝗳𝗏𝗏 is about to shoot the blast at them. Izuku, Kaken, he says as he pushes Bakugo to the side and is hit by the blast, sending him into the portal. The portal closes and everyone who was watching was shocked. Bakugo, no, Bakugo just lost his childhood friend, the one he bullied, the one who always stood by his side, his best friend. Bakugo looks towards 𝗳𝗏𝗏 and screams. Bakugo, 𝗵𝗵𝗃. He screams as he shoots a huge explosion at 𝗳𝗏𝗏. 𝗳𝗏𝗏 begins to laugh as he is being blown up, and eventually turns to dust. 𝗳𝗏𝗏 was defeat, but at what costs? Bakugo falls to his knees and cries out Izuku's name, slamming his fists into the ground. Bakugo, no. And we leave Bakugo as we go to a different dimension. We see two kids in a golf cart, being chased by a giant made of gnomes. Mabel, Dipper, they're catching up. Dipper, I am trying to go as fast as I can, Mabel, but his cart is so slow. Mabel, Dipper, watch out, she says as a tree is flying at them. Dipper, Mabel, Dipper dodges the tree but the cart flips on its side and they both land in front of the mystery shack. Mabel, Dipper, are you okay? Dipper, why I'm fine, but where are the no dash? As he says this he is interrupted by the gnomes lifting the cart and throwing it to the side. I forgot the gnome's name so I'm just gonna call him 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, my queen, I will let you live if you marry me. Mabel, no, you 𝗬𝗧𝗍𝗍. The gnomes raise their fist and are about to murder Dipper and Mabel. That is until the two kids see a green like meteor heading towards them. Mabel, 𝗵𝘃𝗲, what is that? 𝗵𝘃𝗲, I don't know, but get down. As he says this, they two kids take cover and the gnomes are confused. 𝗵𝘃𝗁, what are you guys hiding from? They turn around and see a green like meteor coming at them. 𝗵𝘃𝗁, oh 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟, and the green like meteor hits them, sending them apart from each other. 𝗵𝘃𝗁, retreat. The gnome says, and all the gnomes run back into the forest. 𝗵𝘃𝗁, Mabel, you will be my queen. As he says this, Mabel throws a rock at him. The rock falls next to the gnome's foot, scaring him, and he runs back into the forest. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, are you okay, Mabel? Mabel, yeah, but what was that? 𝗵𝘃𝗲, I'm not sure, Mabel, let's go check it out. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, Mabel, why dash? Before 𝗵𝘃𝗲 could say anything, Mabel was already gone. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 could see that Mabel was already running towards the huge crater. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, wait up, he says as he runs after his sister. It didn't take long for them to find what had hit the gnomes. Mabel, 𝗵𝘃𝗲, I think I see someone on the ground. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, wait, what? The two get closer to the person on the floor and see this. Just imagine he is knocked out. Where this, his mask is still on, by the way. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, who is this and what is he wearing? Mabel, whoever this is, they know how to look so cool. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, let's take them to the shack, he looks beaten up. Mabel, alright, grab their arm and I'll grab the other. They put Izuku over their shoulders, and since they are pretty short, Izuku's is on his knees. Mabel, wow, they're so light. Mabel looks towards 𝗵𝘃𝗲 and sees he is struggling. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 can see Mabel watching him struggle. Mabel, really? 𝗵𝘃𝗲, let's just get them inside. They begin to drag him, but 𝗵𝘃𝗲 drops him by accident. And Izuku's face lands on a rock. Mabel, ouch. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, I'm sure they'll be fine, probably. Mabel, to the shack. They put his arms over their shoulders once more and drag him back to the mystery shack. We start the story off by seeing 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏 talking with 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏, hey 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, check this out. He says as he is standing a pineapple on his nose. 𝗧𝗏, that is a really useless talent, hold still while I take a photo. 𝗧𝗏 says as he takes a photo of 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏, perfect, some Photoshop and boom, thousands of dollars. As he says this, the door bursts open. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, we need help. 𝗧𝗏, what is it dash? Holy Seer, what is that? Mabel, we don't know 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, but it's hurt. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, it saved us from being attacked by gnomes. 𝗧𝗏, that sounds unbelievable, but I don't want to waste all day trying to hide a body. 𝗧𝗏 helped them get it in the living room. 𝗧𝗏, yes, is a. He says as he salutes to 𝗧𝗏 and picks Izuku up and takes him to the living room. Mabel, is it gonna be okay? 𝗵𝘃𝗲, don't worry, Mabel, I'm sure they'll be fine. 𝗧𝗏, alright kids, since you brought this thing here, you can take one thing from the mystery shack for free. Mabel, really? 𝗧𝗏, yeah, now hurry up before I change my mind. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, sweet. Mabel, why? The two twins go in different parts of the shack and look around. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 goes to a shelf full of hats with a maple leaf on it. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 then puts it on his head. He then walks to a mirror and checks himself out. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, not bad. And as he is checking himself out in the mirror, Mabel finds something she wants. Mabel, grappling hook. She says as she shoots it in the air, breaking a window. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, why would you want a grappling hook? Mabel, because it's awesome. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, I'm not sure if we'll ever need that, but you do. I guess. Mabel, yay. The two twins walk over to 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏, hey kids, did you find what you were looking for? 𝗵𝘃𝗲, yeah, I got this hat. Mabel, and I got a grappling hook. 𝗧𝗏, nice. Suddenly 𝗧𝗏 barges in the store. 𝗧𝗏, guys, you will not believe this. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, what is it, 𝗧𝗏? 𝗧𝗏, I can lick my elbow, check it. He says as he puts his elbow to his face and it. Mabel, that is so cool. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, yeah, but what about that thing we brought in? 𝗧𝗏, oh right, 𝗧𝗏, that's not a creature, that's a dude. 𝗧𝗏, 𝗵𝘃𝗃, wait, that's a human. 𝗧𝗏, the dude looks human. Mabel, so he is okay. 𝗧𝗏, yeah dude, also he was awake but he left through the door. 𝗵𝘃𝗲, Mabel, 𝗧𝗏 slowly pulls out a bat. The two twins look at 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏, what? No witnesses. Mabel, 𝗵𝘃𝗧𝗏, we are not killing him. Stan, fine. He says as he tosses the bat. Stan, then what are we supposed to do? Mabel, we go out there to find him. Stan, sorry kids but I got a shack to run. The Pine twins, they say with their heads down. Stan, so 𝗬𝗪 will help you. The Pine twins, they shout as they grab 𝗬𝗪 and drag him outside. They are now outside and are trying to think where he would be. Mabel, it's gonna be so strong to find him. Dipper, I'm sure he should be around here somewhere. Mabel, maybe. 𝗬𝗪, oh sweetie dudes. The Pine twins, yeah. 𝗬𝗪, I think I found him. The Pine twins, really where? 𝗬𝗪, up there. He says as he points to the roof of the mystery shack. The twins look up and see Izuku standing on the roof. And it looks like he is trying to see where he is. Dipper, excuse me. Dipper shouts and Izuku hears him. Quick note, Izuku put his mask and hood back on. Izuku, Mabel, could you come down from there, please? Izuku, oh sure. He says as he jumps off the roof. The three watching scream out to Izuku as they were shocked he jumped off the roof. As he lands the three were shocked he was okay. Izuku walks over to them. Izuku, I'm sorry about that but do you know where I am? Dipper, well you're at the mystery shack. Izuku, the mystery shack. Mabel, why? Izuku, I never heard of this place before. Dipper, well this is in Gravity Falls. Izuku, Gravity Falls. Mabel, yeah, that's where we are right now. Izuku, wait, if I'm in Gravity Falls, then I'm not in Japan. The Pine twins, Japan. 𝗬𝗪, dude, that's like a continent away. Izuku, what? How did I get so far away? Dipper, well we saw you falling from the sky. Mabel, yeah, and you crashed into a giant monster made of gnomes and you saved us. Izuku, wait, why didn't you use your quirk to defend yourself? The three look at Izuku with confusion. The Pine twins, what's a quirk? Izuku, you don't know what a quirk is. The twins shake their head. 𝗬𝗪, is it like a superpower? Dipper, come on 𝗬𝗪, I don't think it is. Izuku, actually yeah it is like a superpower. Dipper, wait, really? Izuku, yeah everyone has one, well not everyone. Mabel, whoa, so do we have superpowers? 𝗬𝗪, let's find out. He says as they both try to use quirks, which doesn't work at all. Dipper, guys I'm pretty sure we don't have quirks. The two groan in disappointment. Izuku, I'm sorry but I think you're quirkless. Dipper, do you have a quirk? Izuku, yeah look. He says as he uses his black WHP to prove he has a quirk. Three are shocked at this. 𝗬𝗪, whoa dude. Mabel, that is so cool. Dipper, whoa, as he is showing them his quirk, Grunkle Stan hears the commotion and goes outside. Stan, if it's one of you, punks again, I swear I'll dash. As he is saying this, he sees Izuku who has the black WE coming out of his hand. Stan, holy see, what is that? Mabel, it's a quirk. Stan, what the hell is a quirk? Izuku, you guys are really shocked about this. Dipper, yeah, we have never seen anything like this. Izuku, wait, you haven't seen one person with a quirk. Dipper, no. Izuku, that doesn't make sense. There should be people around here with quirks. Izuku walks in front the mystery shack and sits on the edge of the porch. Dipper also sits on the porch trying to figure out what's going on. Izuku, what year is it? Dipper, it's 2012, why? Izuku, what? That can't be right, it's supposed to be around 2100. They both think a bit more. Izuku, I was shot through a portal, and then I end up here. They don't know what a quirk is, and it's 2012. Izuku then realizes what is happening. Izuku, I think I figured it out. Dipper, what is it? Izuku, I don't think I'm in the same place anymore. Dipper, what do you mean? Izuku, I think I'm in a different universe. Dipper, that would explain what you told us. Izuku, so I'm not in my universe anymore. Dipper, I don't think so. I'm sorry. Izuku just puts his head in his hands. Izuku, this can't be right. I can't be here. I have to get back. Dipper, and how are you gonna do that? Izuku, I don't know but I can figure something out. Dipper pats Izuku's back, trying to make him feel better. Mabel, Grunkle Stan, could he stay here with us? Stan, I don't know kid. Mabel, please. Stan, fine. Mabel, yes. Mabel runs to Izuku and Dipper. Mabel, excuse me. Izuku and Dipper look up to Mabel. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, we wanted to know if you would like to live in with us, Izuku? Oh, that's okay. I wouldn't want to be a burden. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, please, we insist. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, yeah, you save us, so I think it's just paying you back. Izuku, well, if you're okay with it, then I guess I could stay. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, I'm 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲 by the way. He says as he puts his hand out to Izuku. Izuku, 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗲. He says as he shakes 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲's hand. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, hey, if you don't mind, could I see that black tendril thing again? Izuku, sure, let me just, he says as he takes his mask and hood off. Izuku better. Everyone is looking at Izuku. Izuku, what's? 𝗵𝗃𝗄, your hair looks so cute. She says as 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲 runs up to Izuku and plays with his hair. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, it's so soft. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, is your hair naturally the color? Izuku, he says as he has his head down, so 𝗵𝗃𝗄 could play with his hair. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, he has cute little freckles too. And they all continue to question Izuku about a few things, even 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃. After a while it gets dark. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, so question, where is Izuku gonna sleep? They all think for a bit. Stan, well, there is this room I have been meaning to clean up. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, perfect, let's clean it up. Stan, 𝗬𝗪, come help us and I'll give you a raise. 𝗬𝗪, coming 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃. Meanwhile with Izuku is explaining how his quirk works and what he can do, and 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲 is fascinated and writing everything down in a journal. It's not the journal with the six-fingered hand on it. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, do you have any drawback? Izuku, well, whenever I put too much power in my body it begins to hurt. There was this time where I was fighting this villain named Muscular. He was strong but dangerous. In the end of the fight, I was left with 2 broken arms, he says as he looks at his hands. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, wow, that sounds like it hurt. Izuku, I did, but I ignored the pain so I could focus on protecting those in danger. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, you sound like a hero. Izuku, well, that's because I was. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, well, really? Izuku, yeah, but being a hero has its downsides. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, what do you mean? Izuku, when you're a hero, you have targets on your back, including those you care for. I wish I knew that sooner. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, wow, I never thought of that before, but what do you mean, I wish I knew that sooner? Izuku, it's nothing, anyways let's get inside. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, alright, they both get up off the porch and head inside. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, what happened to him? As they are inside, they see 𝗵𝗃𝗄 who has her sweater around her waist. She looked like she just came back from a construction job. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku, we have a room for you to sleep in. Izuku, oh, thank you so much 𝗵𝗃𝗄. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, you're welcome, and there are some extra clothes in your room. I'm sure you don't want to wear that all day. She says as she points to Izuku's vigilant costume. Izuku, well, you're right about that. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, well, good night Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, good night Izuku. They say as they leave to their room. Izuku, night, and Izuku goes to the room they cleaned up for him. He enters the room and sees that their bed on the corner of the room, a desk next to the door, a closet, and a small window. Izuku walks to the bed and flops down on it. And immediately passes out. Izuku was still in bed, sound asleep. As he was sleeping, 𝗵𝗃𝗄 silently went into his room. 𝗵𝗃𝗄 stood next to Izuku's bed and was watching him. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, hee, time to wake up Izuku. She pulls out a megaphone and points it at Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗄 clears her through and puts the megaphone in front of her mouth. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, wake up, Izuku. She screams in the megaphone and Izuku screams as he falls of the bed. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, good morning Izuku. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku. She taps Izuku and he doesn't respond. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku. She shakes him and he yet again doesn't respond. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, oh no, I killed Izuku. She freaks out. Izuku, I'm okay. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, oh thank God, why didn't you say anything? Izuku, to scare you. He says with a smug on his face. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, well, it worked. Izuku laughs to himself and 𝗵𝗃𝗄 eventually starts to laugh with him. After laughing for a bit, 𝗵𝗃𝗄 and Izuku stop laughing. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, anyways, 𝗵𝗃𝗃 wants to talk to you. Izuku, alright, let me just change real quick. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, she says as she runs out of Izuku's room. Izuku, okay, now what did they give me? He goes to the neatly folded stack of clothes. He picks them up and checks it out. Izuku, I think this will fit. He starts to change and after a while, he finishes dressing up. He walks to a nearby mirror. Izuku, comfortable and nice. Izuku, well, I shouldn't keep Stan waiting, he says as he leaves his room. After a bit of walking he enters the shop. Izuku sees Dipper playing around at 𝗵𝗃, Stan counting money, and 𝗬𝗧 being 𝗬𝗧. Izuku, morning everyone. Dipper, morning Izuku. 𝗬𝗧, morning dude. Stan, morning kid. 𝗵𝗃, morning broccoli boy. Izuku, broccoli boy. 𝗵𝗃, yeah, your head looks like a broccoli. Izuku, huh, I never thought of that. 𝗵𝗃, I now dub you Izuku, the broccoli boy. Izuku, hee hee, alright then. Stan, hey kid, I gotta talk to ya. Izuku, oh, what is it, Grunkle Stan? Stan, well, since you'll be living here, I'll need your help running the shop. Izuku, oh, I would love to help. Stan, great, you're gonna be showing people what we got here. Izuku, so like a tour guide. Stan, exactly. Izuku, I won't let you down, sir. Stan, love that enthusiasm, kid. As they are talking, the front door opens, revealing Wendy. Wendy, hey guys. 𝗵𝗃, hi Wendy. 𝗬𝗧, sup dude. Dipper, hey Wendy. Stan, finally I thought you'd never show, now hurry up and do your job. Wendy, sure Grunkle Stan dashed, her voice trails off as she sees Izuku. Wendy, who's that? 𝗵𝗃, oh that's Izuku, he just joined today. Wendy, really? 𝗵𝗃, yeah, let me introduce you to him. Wendy, and no that's okay --𝗵𝗃, Izuku, come meet Wendy. Izuku, who? 𝗵𝗃 grabs Izuku's hand and drags him to Wendy. Izuku, slow down 𝗵𝗃, his voice trails off as he sees Wendy. Izuku is taken by her beauty, her orange hair, her freckles on her cheeks, he thinks she looks appealing. And now that Wendy has a better view of Izuku, she is blushing, she can see his green, fluffy hair, his freckles on each cheek and his emerald-like eyes, she thinks he looks cute. Izuku, hi, I'm 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃. Wendy calms herself down and introduces herself. Wendy, you can call me Wendy. Izuku, it's nice to meet you. He says as he forwards his hand to Wendy. Wendy, it's nice to meet you too. As this is happening, Dipper is watching. Dipper, how did Izuku get her to blush like that? 𝗵𝗃 is watching Dipper, she can tell he is jealous but doesn't know why. She then looks where Dipper is staring and sees Wendy and Izuku talking to each other. She could tell Izuku has a blush, but what surprised her the most was that Wendy was blushing too. 𝗵𝗃, no way. She then pulls out her journal of ships. She then flips pages and lands on Wendy. She then writes, Izuku x Wendy, and closes the book as she is squealing with delight. 𝗵𝗃, new ship. Izuku and Wendy, 𝗵𝗃, nothing, just ignore me. She says as she runs out of the shop. Izuku, I wonder what got her so excited. Wendy, I'm not sure, anyways, could I get your phone number? Izuku, oh sure. He reaches into his pocket and realizes he doesn't have a phone anymore, 'cause it broke in the crash landing. Izuku, I forgot I broke my phone Wendy, how? Izuku, I fell on it. Wendy, dang dude that must 𝗧𝗧𝗃. Izuku, why? Wendy, how about we go get you a new phone, tomorrow? Izuku, sure, I would love to. Wendy, sweet. And they both continue to talk to each other, while Dipper is watching them from the clothes rack. Dipper, how did he get this close to her already? 𝗬𝗧, I was thinking the same thing dude. Dipper, 𝗬𝗧 don't scare me like that. 𝗬𝗧, sorry dude, it seems my ninja skills are stronger than I thought. Stan, 𝗬𝗧, get over here, I need your help. 𝗬𝗧, coming Grunkle Stan. 𝗬𝗧 leaves Dipper and Dipper goes back into the rack of clothes. What he doesn't know is that Izuku and Wendy were standing in front of him. Izuku, Dipper, what are you doing? Wendy, yeah dude, I'm kinda confused here too. Dipper, oh I was just He looks around trying to think of an excuse. Dipper, I was looking for a nickel I dropped. Suddenly Stan rushed to Dipper and tackles the clothes rack. Stan mine, I saw it first. Dipper, 𝗧𝗵𝗃 help me. Izuku, Grunkle Stan, Izuku screams as he uses black WHP and picks Grunkle Stan up, away from Dipper. Izuku then picks the nickel up. Grunkle, gimme that coin. Izuku, no, it's mine now. Stan, Izuku, yes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Stan, fine. Izuku puts 𝗃𝗃 down and gives Dipper the coin. Stan, hey, how come he gets it? Izuku, because it's his coin. Stan, how do you know? Izuku, because he was looking for his lost coin, right Dipper? Dipper, why? Izuku, good, now stops jumping kids and go back to whatever you were doing. Stan, fine, he says as he walks back to 𝗬𝗧. Izuku, you okay Dipper? Dipper, why? Izuku, good, I think you should buy a wallet Dipper. Probably Wendy was just shocked by what she saw Izuku do. First of all, he had a black tendril come out of his hand and lift Stan. And secondly, Izuku didn't hurt anyone. This just made her fall in love with Izuku more. If I remember right, Wendy doesn't like violence, so I'm thinking she would want to be with someone who doesn't fight for fun, which is Izuku of course. Wendy, 𝗬𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪, hey, sorry about that. He says with a nervous smile. Wendy, it's okay, I'm just surprised, that's all. Izuku, now, where were we? Wendy, I can't remember. She couldn't think about what they were talking about, because she was too busy looking into Izuku's eyes. Izuku, oh that's right, you were telling me about your friends. Wendy, oh alright, anyways, me and my friends are going on a trip and I wanted to know if you would want to come with. Izuku, oh sure, I would love to go with you. Wendy, great. And for the rest of the day, they all begin to do their jobs. 𝗬𝗧 is cleaning the messes. Wendy is the cashier. Stan is giving the adults a tour. And Izuku is showing the kids around. Hours go by and it eventually gets dark. Izuku, bye, happy travels. He says waving to the last tourist that left. Wendy, well this was a long day. Izuku, yeah but I enjoyed it. He says as a yawn escapes his mouth. Wendy, sounds like someone is tired. Izuku, what are you yawn talking about? Wendy chuckles to herself. Wendy, well I had a blast with you today. Izuku, so did I, he says as he gives her a genuine smile. She blushes at his smile. Wendy, I'll see you tomorrow. Izuku, I hope to see you tomorrow too. And before she leaves she gives Izuku a piece of paper. He looks at it and sees a phone number. Wendy, for when we get your phone. Izuku, thanks. Wendy, anyways bye. Izuku, bye. He says as they both wave their hands to each other. Izuku goes inside and Wendy walks a bit deeper in the forest. She looks around to see if there is anyone in sight. It's clear and starts to celebrate. Wendy, yes, I did it, I gave him my number. And she runs off back into his city with a super happy mood. Meanwhile with Izuku, Izuku is in his room and is about to fall asleep in bed until he hears someone walking around. Izuku, who is that? Izuku sits up and walks to his door. He opens it and looks down the hall. He doesn't see anyone and goes back into his room. Izuku, well, that's totally not creepy. He says as he lays back down on his bed. Izuku, but I have work tomorrow, so I need to sleep. He then lets out a yawn. Izuku, good night me, and falls asleep. We start this chapter off by seeing Izuku showing people around the shop. Izuku was wearing sleeves and black gloves. Izuku, and this is a half-man half-beaver, who would steal people's shovels. I don't know why but he did. The tourists are amazed and take pictures. Izuku, how do people not see that these are fake? After a while the tourists leave the shop. Stan, nice job kid, you're a natural. Izuku, thanks Grunkle Stan, but this doesn't feel right Stan, you'll get used to it kid, that's how business works, sometimes you gotta lie so they can buy. Izuku, I know but it's still I never lied to people before. Stan, then you better start learning kid, 'cause if you're living here then you're helping me run the shop. Izuku, alright, as Izuku and Stan are talking, Wendy is at the cash register. She is reading a newspaper but glances towards Izuku every now and then. Wendy, I wonder if he would want to join, I'll ask him when the shop closes. As she is thinking to herself, Dipper walks up to her and tries to act cool in front of her. Wendy, I know Dipper likes me, but he's too young for me, I'm sure he'll understand. Izuku, hey Wendy. Wendy, oh what's up Izuku? Izuku, I was just asking if you're gonna be doing anything after work. Wendy, well I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends, so I was gonna ask you if you wanted to join. Izuku, sure, I got nothing else to do anyways. Wendy, sweet. As Izuku and Wendy are talking, Dipper is watching and he is jealous. Mabel sees Dipper glaring at Izuku. Mabel, is someone jealous? She says with a teasing tone. Dipper, no, I just, thought I saw something. Mabel, sure you did. Dipper, hey look over there. He says painting behind Mabel. Mabel. She turns around. Dipper then flips her hair over her head. Mabel, I can't see. Izuku and Wendy hear this and laugh a bit. Izuku walks up to Mabel and fixes her hair. Izuku, there you go. He says as he pats her head and walks off. Mabel, I think I'm in love. Don't worry, she isn't gonna be in the ship, she just simping over Izuku, well unless I find a way to make her older, but I'm not sure yet. Time skip. Stan has closed the mystery shack for the day and we see Wendy waiting for Izuku. Izuku leaves the shack and meets up with Wendy. Izuku, hey Wendy. Wendy, hey Izuku. Izuku, so where are your friends? Wendy, they'll be here in a bit, they just texted me that they need to get gas. Izuku, alright. They both just stand there. Izuku, so Wendy, so what was that you did yesterday? Izuku, what was what? Wendy, you know, those black tendrils things that came out of your hand. Izuku, oh that was my quirk. Wendy, quirk. Izuku, it's like a superpower. Wendy, you have superpowers. Izuku, Wendy, how did you get superpowers? Izuku, if I tell you, will you believe me and not freak out? Wendy, Izuku, alright, well I'm not from here, I'm from a different dimension where people around the world have a special ability they are born with called quirks. In this world there were people who used their quirks to become heroes or become villains. Wendy, wow, that's a lot to take in. Izuku, yeah, anyways I was unlucky and I was born without a quirk. Wendy, what do you mean by unlucky? Izuku, in my dimension, if you were born without a quirk, you were considered useless. Wendy, that must have been strong for you. Izuku, it was, but during my high school years, the #1 hero, All Might, who gave me his quirk, and from then on I became a hero in training doing what I've always wanted to do, to save people with a smile. Wendy, wow, you must have been a great hero. Izuku, yeah, I was, he says as he looks down. Wendy, did something happen? Izuku, nah, it's nothing, I just miss my home Wendy, I'm sorry. Izuku, it's okay, it's not like it's your fault I'm here, but I'm not complaining. Wendy, but don't you miss the people that care about you? Izuku, I would if there was anyone who did care, the only one who did was my childhood friend Kaken. After I became a vigilante, they saw me as a villain and hated me for it, but there was also this little girl named Eri, her quirk allows her to rewind whatever she touched to its previous state, she even had this cute little horn on her head. Wendy, she sounds cute. Izuku, yeah, I met her after me and other heroes saved her from a villain named Chisaki, he was using her BLD to make the bullets that were able to erase our quirks. Wendy, that sounds horrible. Izuku, we lost a great hero to during the battle, and Chisaki was dangerous, I had Eri with me and he was attacking me, and whenever I use too much power in my quirk, it hurts my body and can even break my bones. Wendy, well. Izuku, but thanks to Eri's power I was able to use as much power as I could, every time I used it she would rewind body so that it would rewind before my bones broke. Wendy, that must have hurt. Izuku, it did, but I ignored it because Eri's protection was my top priority. Wendy, you are an amazing hero. Izuku, thanks, anyways after I defeated Chisaki, her powers overflowed and it starts to remind faster and almost killed me. Wendy, well at least you're okay. Izuku, yeah, but my sensei saved me by erasing her quirk momentarily, and she passed out from exhaustion. Wendy, was she okay? Izuku, yeah, even though we lost a great hero, we saved Eri. Wendy, I'm sorry for your loss, Izuku. Izuku, it's okay, we were able to talk to him one last time and he didn't regret being there to save her. Wendy, he was an amazing hero. Izuku, better than amazing, fantastic Wendy, so what happens with Eri? Izuku, well when I went to visit her to see how she was doing, she called me Papa. Wendy, she called you Papa. Izuku, yeah, she thought of me as her dad. Wendy, what did you do after? Izuku, I was okay with it so I became her Papa. Wendy, ah, that's so sweet. Izuku, yeah, and I miss her, Wendy. You lost so much, it must be horrible. Izuku, yeah, but I can't sit here and be sad forever. The past is the past. I won't forget the adventures I had, they will always be in my memories, and besides I'm kinda glad to be here. Wendy, what do you mean? Izuku, well, even though Miss Eri and Kaken, if I wasn't sent here, I wouldn't have met you. Wendy, oh, she says blushing. Izuku realizes what he said and blushes too. Izuku, and the others too. Wendy, why yeah, of course. And after that a minivan pulls up in front of them. Izuku, is this them? Wendy, yeah, hey guys. Robbie, hey Wendy. Lee and Nate, yo, what's up Wendy? 𝗵𝗃, hey, she says as she is on her phone. Wendy, so we have a new guy joining us today, meet Izuku. Izuku, hello. Lee, what's up man? Nate, whoa, is your hair naturally green? Izuku, Nate and Lee, I love this guy already. They say as they put their arm over Izuku's shoulders. Wendy, I love him too. Izuku, 𝗧𝗵𝗃. Wendy, I mean I already know he is cool. Wendy, nice save Wendy. Robbie, the 𝗵𝗃 𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃 looks up from her phone and sees Izuku. As she sees Izuku and is at awe. She is blushing and his phone slips out of her hands. Wendy's friends look at 𝗵𝗃 in shock. She rarely looks away from her phone and she just ignored her phone that fell on the floor. Izuku is worried since the group is shocked. Izuku, are you okay? 𝗵𝗃 snaps out of it and is blushing. 𝗵𝗃, why yeah, it just slipped out of my hand. She say as she picks up her phone and puts it in her pocket. Izuku, well, my name is Izuku Midoriya, nice to meet you. He says as he puts his hand out. 𝗵𝗃, why yeah, nice to meet you too. She says as she shakes Izuku's hand. 𝗵𝗃, his hand is so soft. The group and Wendy were so confused and sorta scared. Nate, what happened to 𝗵𝗃? He whispers to Lee. Lee, I don't know. He whispers to Nate. Robbie, what the 𝗵𝗃 is going on? Thompson, she never puts her phone down, is that even 𝗵𝗃? Wendy, since when did 𝗵𝗃 act so nice? Wendy, anyways, these are my friends Izuku. 𝗵𝗃, and my name's 𝗵𝗃. Nate, I'm Nate. Lee, I'm Lee, the funny one. Smiley face. Nate, nah, I'm the funny one. Lee, no, the only thing that's funny is that hairline of yours. Nate and Lee laugh at that and so does Izuku. Wendy and 𝗵𝗃 blush as they hear Izuku's laugh. Wendy and 𝗵𝗃, cute. Thompson, and I'm Thompson. Izuku, nice to meet you Thompson. He says as he shakes Thompson's hand. Wendy, and that's Robbie. Robbie, Wendy, he doesn't talk much. Izuku, it's nice to meet you all, I hope we become great friends. 𝗵𝗃, Nate, same bro. Lee, yeah, we're gonna be best friends. Thompson, awesome. Robbie, whatever. Wendy, alright then, let's get going. The group except Robbie, yeah. As they are about to leave, Dipper and Mabel come by. Dipper, hey Wendy. Mabel, hey Izuku. Izuku, oh hi guys. Dipper, we were just walking by, what are you doing? Wendy, we're going to a haunted store. Dipper, sweet, can we come? Robbie, sorry Pipsqueak, but we can't bring babies with you. Izuku, of course you can come. Robbie, what? Izuku, I mean there are 6 teens including me and 2 kids, so I'm sure 7 of us can watch you too. 𝗵𝗃, I don't see why not. Wendy, sure. Nate, sure, I always wanted to know what it was like to babysit. Lee, we're gonna be awesome babysitters. 𝗵𝗃, if Izuku's okay with it, they can come. Robbie, fine, but I'm not gonna help watch them. Izuku, that's alright, I'm sure we can handle 2 kids without you. Robbie, did he just say they don't need me? Mabel, yay, let's go. She says as they all get in. Izuku, I call shotgun. Robbie, nope, sorry, I get shotgun, only the cool guys can sit in the front seat. Izuku, then I guess I'm cool. Robbie was too busy talking about sitting in his front seat to realize that Izuku already sat in the front seat next to Wendy. Nate, he beat him to it. Lee, Wendy, 𝗵𝗃 is trying not to laugh. Robbie, whatever, he says as he glares at Izuku and gets in the van. Dipper, hey Izuku. Izuku, yes Dipper. Dipper, can I sit in the front? Izuku, sure, you cool enough for the front seat. He says as he gets out and Dipper sits in front. Wendy, no, come back Izuku. Izuku sits in the back with 𝗵𝗃 and 𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, yes. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, oh sweet. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, so Izuku, while we're driving can you tell us one of your stories when you were a hero? The group, hero. Izuku, I'm not sure anyone would want to hear it, besides I don't think they believe I'm a hero. Lee, if you can prove you're a hero, then I wanna hear your story. Make it. Robbie, yeah right, it's not like he has superpowers. Dipper, come on Izuku show them. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, what is he gonna show us? Izuku, alright then. Wendy, oh you guys are in for a surprise. Izuku then uses black WHP and moves it around the van. The group is amazed by this but Robbie is just freaked out by this. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, can we touch it? Izuku, sure. They touch it and it's something they never felt before. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it feels so weird. Nate, can you make shapes with it? Lee, yeah make a bat. Izuku, I could try. Izuku's black while then makes itself smaller and breaks into a bunch of small and it forms a bat. Izuku moves it around and the group is amazed. Lee, that's sick. Nate, make a butterfly. Robbie, really a butterfly? Nate, what's wrong with a butterfly? Robbie, butterflies are girly. Nate was upset and just looked down. Izuku, hey, there's nothing wrong with liking butterflies. He says as he makes a butterfly with his black WHP. Everyone sees the butterfly fly around and Nate is amazed by it. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 takes a picture with her phone. Nate, could you send that to me? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, sure. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, make a unicorn. Izuku makes a small unicorn and it moves around 𝗵𝗃𝗃's head. They all ask him to make things but then notices Izuku is struggling. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izuku, you can stop now. The black WHP retracts back into Izuku's hand. Izuku sits back and is breathing heavily. Wendy, are you okay Izuku? Izuku, yeah I'm fine, I just never used that many before. Dipper was writing stuff in his Izuku journal. Wendy, what's that Dipper? Dipper, oh it's my journal about what Izuku can do. Wendy, does he know about it? Dipper, yeah he even helped me with things I was confused about. Wendy, that's sweet of him. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, do you believe us now? The group, yeah. Izuku, see cool. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, can you tell us one of your stories, please? Izuku, sure while we are going there. Wendy, oh right I forgot, we haven't even left yet. She says as she starts the van and they drive off. Izuku, okay now that we are moving this was the time I had to fight a villain named Muscular, it's also how I got these scars. He says as he takes off his gloves and rolls up his sleeves. Wendy, I always did wonder how. You got those 𝗵𝗃𝗃, whoa, she says as she touches them. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, does it hurt? Izuku, no, all I feel is your gentle hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Nate, dang those look sick. Lee, what happened? Izuku, okay so what happened was Izuku, and that's how I beat Muscular. The group is just shocked by Izuku's fight. Lee, dang dude that must have been a strong fight. Izuku, it almost killed me, but it was worth it to save 𝗂𝗧. Wendy, you're a really nice guy Izuku. Izuku, thanks Wendy. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, so what happens after the fight? Izuku, well after the fight I met up with my sensei Aizawa. I gave him to 𝗂𝗧 and ran off to find my friends. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, that's crazy Izuku, how did you keep going? Nate, yeah dude if my arms were broken, I would have just passed out on the floor. Izuku, it was probably the adrenaline, but I didn't care, I needed to know they were okay. Dipper, so what happened after? Izuku, as I was running through the forest looking for my friends, I ran into a classmate whose name I can't remember, he did talk a lot so I never got his name, anyways he had a quirk where he could create multiple body parts anywhere on his body. Wendy, that sounds freaky. Izuku, yeah, I never got used to it. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, what happened after? Izuku, well he carried me on his back and we looked for the rest of our classmates, we ran for a bit and found 𝗳𝗂𝗧𝗵𝗃, he had lost control of his quirk but we also saw Todoroki and Bakugo using their quirks to calm down Dark Shadow. Lee, the name Dark Shadow, sounds cool. Wendy, how did they calm down Dark Shadow? Izuku, they used the light from their fire and explosion to calm him down, sunlight was 𝗳𝗂𝗧𝗵𝗃 and Dark Shadow's only weakness. Dipper is writing a bunch of things in his journal. Izuku, after they calmed him down, we were attacked by a villain, and after we defeated him, we noticed that 𝗂𝗂𝗏 was missing. Izuku, we looked around and found out he was captured by a villain who could turn you into a orb. He kidnapped 𝗂𝗂𝗏 and we ran after him. 𝗵𝗃, did you catch him? Izuku, yeah, but when we did another villain named 𝗬𝗍𝗶 caught the orb, we were gonna go after him until a girl in a school outfit got in our way. She was about to attack us until she saw me. For some reason she wanted my BLD badly and I found it really weird. She then tackled me to the ground and was about to stab me until 𝗬𝗧𝗟𝗃 tackled her to the ground. 𝗵𝗃, why did she want your BLD, Izuku? I don't know, but I could tell she was blushing and I was creeped out by it since she had BLD on her face. 𝗧𝗏, creeping shit. Izuku, anyways, she girl that wanted my BLD was named 𝗬𝗏 and she was able to get away. I got up from the floor and ran after 𝗬𝗍𝗶. He took 𝗂𝗂𝗏 in a portal and walked off with him. I wasn't fast enough and the villains got away and kidnapped 𝗂𝗂𝗏. Dipper, oh no, were you able to find him? Izuku, we did, but I'll tell you another time. The group groans in disappointment. 𝗵𝗃, why? Wendy, because we're here. They all look out the car windows and see a small store that looks abandoned. Izuku, I didn't expect it to look so broken. Nate, destroyed. Dipper, creepy. 𝗵𝗃, scary. Izuku, abandoned. Wendy, well, let's head inside. They all get out of the car and go to the front of the door. 𝗬𝗏, man, it's locked. Dipper, maybe there's another way in. Izuku looks through the window and sees a window ceiling. Izuku, I think I found a way inside. He says as he points to the window ceiling. Wendy, great, but how do we get up there? Izuku, I got this. He says as he starts to power up. They see green electricity coming out of Izuku and back away. Izuku jumps and lands on the ceiling. Dipper, he is amazed and starts to write something down in his notebook. 𝗵𝗃, wow, that's so cool. Izuku walks towards the window ceiling and opens it. He jumps down and walks to the front door. Izuku sees there's a lock on it. Izuku, hold on, there's a lock on the door. 𝗵𝗃, maybe there's a key in there. Izuku, okay, let me look around. 𝗵𝗃, screw it, just break the DMN lock. Izuku, if I can't find the key then I'll break it, but I'm not gonna break the lock. 𝗵𝗃, tisk, wimp. Izuku leaves the door and looks around. He goes to the cashier counter and looks in the drawers. He moves paper and stuff around and finds the key. Izuku, I got it. Wendy, nice. Nate, awesome dude. Izuku goes to the door and unlocks it. Izuku opens it and lets them in. Wendy, nice job, Izuku. Izuku, hee, thanks. He says as he rubs the back of his head. 𝗵𝗃, whatever, I could have done that. Nate, sure you could. 𝗧𝗏, yeah, there's no way you could jump to the roof. 𝗵𝗃, whatever. Izuku flicks the light 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 off and it doesn't turn on. Izuku, I think the power's out. I'm gonna look around, maybe I could find a backup generator. 𝗵𝗃, I'll come with you. Izuku, sure, I would love your company. 𝗵𝗃, yes. Izuku and 𝗵𝗃 walk to the back of the store and see a door that says employees only. 𝗵𝗃, maybe it's in there. Izuku, probably, let's check it out. They go inside and it's dark as hell. Izuku, I can't see a thing. 𝗵𝗃, hold on, let me get my phone dash. As she is about to reach in her pocket, Izuku trips on something and falls on 𝗵𝗃. Izuku, oh shoot, I'm so sorry, are you okay? 𝗵𝗃, why, I'll be okay, let me just get my phone real quick. She reaches into her pocket and takes it out. She turns on her flashlight and sees Izuku. They both are inches away from each other's faces. They both just stare at each other for a while and eventually snaps out of it. Izuku gets up off her and is blushing. Izuku, sorry, he says as he helps her up. 𝗵𝗃, it's okay, she says as she is blushing. Izuku, anyways, let's find that generator, don't want to keep the others waiting. 𝗵𝗃, alright. They both look around and see the place is dusty and trashed. 𝗵𝗃, this place is really messed up. Izuku, I know. I wonder what happened. Izuku and 𝗵𝗃 looks around a bit more and see a generator. Izuku, there it is. Izuku says as he walks up to it and looks around it. 𝗵𝗃, is something wrong? Izuku, no, I'm just checking it to see if it's okay. 𝗵𝗃, oh well, is it okay? Izuku, yeah, even though this place has been abandoned, it's a surprise that it's in good condition. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, nice, let's fire it up. Izuku pushes a button on the generator and turns it on. Izuku, could you go tell them to try the light now? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, I'll be right back, she say as she runs off. Izuku looks around for the light 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁 and flicks it on. Once the light is on, he sees that the room is full of webs and dust, but the place looks in good shape. Izuku, maybe I could fix this place up, he says as he walks out of the room and doesn't know that there is a ghost watching him. Interesting, she says as she goes invisible and follows Izuku. Izuku is back with his friends and the lights are back on. 𝗵𝗃, nice job you two. Izuku, couldn't have done it without 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it was super dark. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it was nothing Izuku. Izuku, still thanks for helping me. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, you're welcome Izu. Izuku, Izu. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, as a nickname, yeah, nickname. Izuku, alright. The group is just watching this. 𝗵𝗃 is getting kinda jealous and so is 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Thompson is confused. Lee and Nate are enjoying the show. And Robbie doesn't give a damn. Nate, just embrace already. Lee, ya love birds. Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 blush at this. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I love birds. Lee, oh come on, we already know you both have a thing for each other. Nate, yeah, just make out already. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, see, come on guys, I'm sure Izuku has a girlfriend already. Izuku, actually I don't. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗵𝗃𝗃 is blushing strong and Izuku is too. 𝗵𝗃, come on guys, let's not do this to them. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, they look uncomfortable. Dipper was shocked by 𝗵𝗃𝗃, usually she is the one who ships people all the time. Dipper, does 𝗵𝗃𝗃 actually love Izuku? As Nate and Lee are arguing with 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and 𝗵𝗃, Lee gets an idea. Lee, hey Nate, come here, he says as they both whisper to each other. Nate, oh that's a good idea. They both then walk up to Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Nate, okay, we're sorry about this bro. Lee, yeah, you did 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Izuku, what do you mean dash? He is then picked up by Nate and Lee picks up 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and they both drag the to a closet. They both throw them in the closet and shut the door on them. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 falls on top of Izuku and Izuku is on the floor, against the wall. Lee and Nate then shut the door on them. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, come on you butts, let us out. Nate, not until you both embrace. Lee, yeah, what he said. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, just let them out guys. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, what she said. Lee, Thompson, guard the door, he says as Thompson blocks the door. Lee and Nate then grab 4 Nerf guns and throw 2 towards 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Lee, you want them out? Nate, then take us out. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, fine. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, let's destroy them. And the two teams charge at each other with battle cries. With Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗃, they are still on the floor with 𝗵𝗃𝗃 sitting on Izuku's lap. The closet is pretty small and Izuku's back is against the wall. Izuku, so 𝗵𝗃𝗃, we should just give them what they want. Izuku, why yet? 𝗵𝗃𝗃 then cups Izuku's face with her hands and they both slowly begin to embrace. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and Izuku slowly start to enjoy it and they both close each other's eyes and continue to embrace. Izuku puts his hands around her waist and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 puts her arms around Izuku's neck. They both break the embrace and Izuku 𝗵𝗃𝗃's neck. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, she quietly out and covers her mouth. Izuku, sorry, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it's okay, you caught me by surprise. Izuku, well we could stop now. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yen Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, and they both continue to make out together. On the other side on the door, Thompson can hear the coming from 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and is blushing. Thompson, gee guys, I think they already. Nate, Lee, 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 at Thompson with their eyes wide open. Lee, let's go. Nate, we just made a couple bro. They both then fist bump each other. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and walk towards the closet. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 moves Thompson out of the way and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 opens the door. They both see 𝗵𝗃𝗃 on top of Izuku and their clothes are messy. 𝗵𝗃𝗃's shirt is falling off her shoulder and Izuku's face is full of lipstick. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Dipper, Nate, Robbie, Thompson, Lee, nice. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 gets off Izuku and Izuku gets off the floor. They both fix their clothes and leave the closet. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, are you happy now? Lee, Nate, absolutely. Izuku, now that's over, what now? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, first off, this, she says as she grabs Izuku's jacket and pulls him into an embrace. Everyone looks at them in shock. Dipper, what? Robbie, what the 𝗧𝗵𝗃 Tambri, whoa Nate whoa, bro do see what I see. Lee, yeah bro, a love triangle. Mabel, oh man, he's already taken Izuku, what is going on? Wendy breaks the embrace and lets go of Izuku. Wendy, there's Tambri, what the hell Wendy, you can't just embrace another girl's man. She says she hugs Izuku's arm. Wendy, well I met him first. She says as she hugs his other arm. Tambri, that doesn't matter. Wendy, whatever, I'm sure he would rather date me, right Izuku? Tambri, no way, he'll date me, right Izuku? Izuku, 𝗳𝗍𝗵𝗃 Wendy, come on Izuku you gotta pick. Tambri, Izuku I can dash. They are interrupted by the building shaking. Izuku what the? They then see a ghost that looks like a woman come out of the ground. Who dares disturb my slumber? The group is shocked and scared. Izuku, we're sorry for waking you, we didn't mean to dash. Silence. Izuku. As punishment for disturbing my slumber, you will have to Izuku. Give me a minute, I'm thinking right now. As the ghost is thinking, Izuku looks around and gets an idea. Izuku, I could run the store for you, Izuku, I could run the store for you, the ghost thinks for a moment and come to a conclusion. Very well, come back tomorrow in the evening, now leave. She says as the front doors burst open and everyone leaves. Hee, that was fun. She says as she closes the front doors. Izuku and the others are outside and thinking about everything that has happened. Wendy, well that happens Tambri, what now? Izuku, we go home, everyone looks towards Izuku and they all agree. Wendy, well Izuku, who is it gonna be? Tambri, yeah, have you decided? Izuku, I'm sorry but, I can't choose between the both of you Wendy, what? Tambri, what do you mean? Izuku, I can't choose between one of you, you're both so appealing and fun to be around and if I chose one of you, I'm afraid it would ruin your friendship. The two girls look down. Izuku, so I'm sorry but I just can't Wendy, Tambri, the girls are upset. Izuku, you guys can take the van, I'm gonna walk back to the shack Dipper, what why? Izuku, I just need to think right now Dipper, okay then Izuku, I'll see you later, I guess, Tambri, wait Izuku. Wendy, weary sword dash Izuku then dashes off and leaves a green lighting trail behind. The group is just down in the dumps and they all get in the car. Dipper sits in the back and starts to write stuff down. Dipper, super speed, we see Izuku cleaning up a bit. Wendy has been trying to talk to Izuku, he always finds a way to avoid her. Izuku just feels uncomfortable around her and doesn't want to talk about last night. Wendy, minute, we really messed up. After Izuku is done cleaning up, he goes to Grunkle Stan. Izuku, excuse me, Grunkle Stan. Stan, what is it kid? Izuku, well I wanted to know if I could leave early, I have another job so if you don't mind I would really like to dash Stan. Sure kid, just come back before it gets too dark. Izuku, okay, thanks Grunkle Stan. He says as he runs out of the shack. Stan, you're welcome kid. Dipper, it's been like what 2-3 days and you are already super close to him. Stan, and no I'm not I just don't want the kid to get hurt that's all. Dipper, that's the same the Grunkle Stan. Stan whatever. Stan says as he leaves. Dipper, I wonder if Izuku can do anything else, I'll ask him when he gets back. Meanwhile with Izuku, he is dashing to the store and is also thinking about things. Izuku, was I to her on them, maybe I should talk to the girls, maybe we could work something out as he is thinking he just arrived to the store. Izuku enters the store and looks around. Izuku, where do I start? You can start by cleaning the dust and cobwebs first. Izuku jumps and turns around to see the ghost women. Izuku, Jesus you scared me. Hee, sorry, I just love to scare people. Izuku I can tell. Anyways, thanks for doing this, it's really nice of you. Izuku, it's no problem and besides, you would have probably hurt my friends if I didn't. I wasn't really gonna do anything Izuku, oh sorry. It's okay. I know you didn't mean it like that. Izuku, okay, well anyways, it would really help if I know your name. Oh yeah, my name is, Izuku, what's wrong? I don't remember my name Izuku, really, that's weird. I remembered how I died, but why can't I remember my name? Izuku, I don't know, but I can think of a name for you. Oh, Izuku, how about Evelyn? Evelyn, oh, I like that name. Izuku, nice, alright, let's get started. He says as he takes off his jacket. Evelyn, okay. And they both start to clean the store and they both have a good time together. Time skip after some cleaning, the day is over and Izuku is tired and his shirt is now see-through. Izuku, nice, this place looks twice as better. Evelyn, wait. Evelyn, I didn't know he was so muscular. Izuku realizes the sun is setting and is getting ready to go home. Izuku, see, I gotta get home quick. I told 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 I would get home before it got dark. Evan, oh no, hurry. Izuku, alright, see you tomorrow. He says as he dashes home. Evelyn waves goodbye to Izuku and goes back into the store. Evelyn, he's muscular and hot. She says as she covers her face and floats around blushing. Meanwhile, Izuku is dashing to the shack and has already made it back. He slows down and goes through the door. He looks around and notices Mabel and Dipper in the living room. Izuku, hey guys. Dipper, hey Izuku. Mabel, hi Izuku. Izuku, what you guys doing? Dipper, we're just watching a movie. Mabel, yeah, it's about pirates fighting robots. Izuku, that sounds interesting. Dipper, wanna watch with us? Izuku, sure, I got nothing else to do. He says as he sits on the floor next to Mabel. Mabel, Izuku is sitting next to me. Mabel cheers to herself and lays her head on Izuku's shoulder. Izuku notices but doesn't do anything since he thinks she's just tired. The three of them watch the movie together and eventually the twins fall asleep. Izuku notices and turns the TV off. He picks up Dipper and Mabel and goes to their room. He puts Mabel in bed and covers her in the blanket. He then puts Dipper in bed and takes Dipper's hat off and puts it on his desk. Izuku, good night guys. He says and leaves the room, closing the door behind him. Izuku goes to his room and takes his jacket off. Izuku, I should go take a shower. He says and leaves his room to go take a shower. Short time skip after he finishes taking a shower, he comes back in new clothes and goes to his jacket. Izuku, I should get this washed. He says and puts it on the chair in his room. Izuku, but that can wait until tomorrow. I'm tired, he says as he flips on the bed. Izuku's muscles feel relaxed and he immediately passes out. Meanwhile, Wendy and 𝗵𝗃𝗲 are talking to each other on the phone. Wendy, he's been avoiding us since yesterday, we need to talk to him about it. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, I know, but how can we when he is always avoiding us? Wendy, I don't know, but for now, let's leave him be. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, we shouldn't have put so much pressure on him. Wendy, yeah, I know. Wait, I think I have an idea. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, what is it? Wendy, what if we share him? 𝗵𝗃𝗲, what do you mean? Wendy, we both love him, right? 𝗵𝗃𝗲, Wendy, so why can't we both love him? 𝗵𝗃𝗲, oh, now I get it. Maybe he can choose us both. Wendy, exactly. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, but how do we get him to listen to us? Wendy, we trap him. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, what do you think we can do? It's not like we can lock him and ourselves in a room. Wendy, or maybe we can. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, I hope I don't regret this, Wendy. I'll see you tomorrow. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, yeah, see you soon. And they both hang up. Meanwhile, in the My Universe, the pros are interrogating 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Aizawa, where did you send Midoriya? 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏, I don't know. When I was attacked, I sent him somewhere and I don't know where. Aizawa is frustrated. Bakugo, listen, you Misty 𝗵𝗃𝗃, if you don't tell us where Izuku is right now, I'll blow your butt up. As he says this, the door behind him and Aizawa opens, revealing 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏 holding Eri. Bakugo, 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏, what are you doing here? 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏, I need to know if Izuku is okay. Eri, is Papa okay? Aizawa, we don't know Eri, this guy won't tell us. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏, isn't that the little girl who has the power to rewind? I'm sure 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 would love to have her. As soon as Aizawa blinks, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 makes a portal under 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏 and Eri, and as soon as the girls fall through, Bakugo explodes 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 and knocks him out. Aizawa, no, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, Bakugo, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, it happened again. Bakugo stomps towards 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏, who is still knocked out. Bakugo, where the 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 did you take them? He says as he shakes him violently. Aizawa, Bakugo, stop, he's knocked out and we won't get answers if you kill him. Bakugo stops and lets 𝗬𝗧𝗟𝗘 go. Bakugo, they better be fine or this 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 is dead. Aizawa, I'm sure they'll be fine, I hope, and that's where is end this chapter. Where did 𝗬𝗧𝗟𝗘 send 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 and 𝗟𝗃? What are the girls planning to do with Izuku? We see Dipper and Mabel waking up in their beds. Dipper, morning Mabel. Mabel, morning Dipper. They get out of bed and almost immediately smell something amazing. Dipper, Mabel, do you smell that? Mabel, I do, it's Mabel and Dipper, pancakes. As they both shout pancakes, they run downstairs and into the kitchen to see Izuku making pancakes. Izuku, oh, good morning guy. Mabel, you're making pancake. Izuku, yeah, would you both like some? Dipper, of course. Mabel, yes please. They say as they sit down on the table. Izuku is done and gives Dipper and Mabel pancakes. Izuku gives them syrup, and as soon as the syrup was on the pancakes, they took 𝗧𝗵𝗃 out of the pancakes. Izuku, so what do you guys think? Dipper, Mabel, Izuku, guys. Dipper and Mabel begin to tear up. Izuku, was it that bad? Dipper, this is the best thing we ever ate. Mabel, it's like an explosion of flavor was set off in mouth. Izuku, so it's good. Mabel, it's better than good. Dipper, it's delicious. Izuku, phew, you guys scared me. Dipper and Mabel, sorry. Izuku, it's all right. Izuku leaves the kitchen and goes to his room. He grabs his jacket and clothes and leaves his room to do laundry. Time skip. Izuku goes back to his room and puts his laundry on his bed. After some folding, he puts his clothes away and sits on his bed. Izuku, I hope 𝗟𝗃 is okay, she says as he just lays there, thinking about how 𝗟𝗃 is doing. Meanwhile, we see 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 and 𝗟𝗃 falling through the sky. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 is able to fix herself in the air and is flying. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, are you okay, 𝗟𝗃? 𝗟𝗃 nods her head as she has her eyes closed. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, good, now where are we? She says as she looks around. She then sees a sign that says, Welcome to Gravity Falls. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, Gravity Falls. Well, maybe we could find some help, let's go. She says as she flies into Gravity Falls. Time skip. After hours of flying, she sees a shack called Mystery Shack. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, maybe whoever is there can help us. She says as she flies towards it. She lands on the ground and walks to the door. She knocks on the door and hears someone. Mabel, 1 second. She waits and the door flies open. Mabel, gasp, your hair is so pretty. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, hee, thanks. Mabel, what's your name? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, you can call me 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. Mabel, okay 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, and what's your name? Mabel, Mabel Pines. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, nice to meet you Mabel. Mabel, and who is this little girl? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, oh this is 𝗟𝗃. Mabel, 𝗟𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, 𝗵𝗃, is something wrong? Mabel, that's the little girl Izuku was talking about. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, wait, you know Izuku. 𝗟𝗃, Papa is here. Mabel, yeah, he's actually living with us. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, can we see him? Mabel, of course. She say as she lets them in. Mabel, Izuku, could you come here a sec? Izuku, sure, I'll be right down. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, it really is Izuku. 𝗟𝗃, Papa. Izuku, 𝗬𝗧𝗏. He run downstairs and sees 𝗟𝗃 in 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟's arms. Izuku, 𝗟𝗃. 𝗟𝗃, Papa. She says as she jumps out of 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟's arms. Izuku, he says as crouches down and has his arms out. She jumps into Izuku's arms and Izuku catches her. Izuku, it really is you. I missed you so much. 𝗟𝗃, Papa, we missed you. She said in tears. Izuku, shoo, it's okay, don't cry, I'm here now. Izuku and 𝗟𝗃 embrace each other and are in tears of joy. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 can't help but also tear up in this appealing reunion. After that appealing reunion, 𝗟𝗃 is asleep in Izuku's arms and Izuku lays her on the living room chair. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I'm so glad you're okay. Izuku, wait, you're glad I'm okay? I thought you hated me. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, why would I hate you? You're an amazing person and a true hero. Izuku, but I became 𝗳𝗏𝗃𝗃, a vigilante, and I understand why. Izuku, so we're good. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, we've always been good. She said as she hugs Izuku. Izuku is hesitant to hug but eventually does and hugs her tight. Izuku, I missed you 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, So did I, 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 look at Mabel. Mabel, so what are you two? A couple? Izuku, 𝗬𝗧𝗟𝗘. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, and no, we're just friends. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, even though I wanna be more than friends, but he probably doesn't like me that way. Izuku, why yeah, just friends, he says as he is blushing. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 notices his blush. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, do we have a chance? Mabel, alright then. Izuku, so what now? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, well, I should find somewhere to stay. Mabel, well, she can't stay here, we don't have any more room. Izuku, she could stay with me in my room. Mabel and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, what? Izuku, if you're okay with sharing. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, this could help me get closer to Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I am okay with it. Izuku, alright, let me show you where it is. He says as he picks Eri up and goes to his room, with 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 following him. Dipper was just watching the whole thing. Dipper, what just happened? Izuku enters his room with 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 and lays Eri on the bed. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, wow, this place looks so comfy. Izuku, yeah, it was nice of them to let me stay. Izuku looks out the window and sees that it's dark out. Izuku, well, we should get to bed now. You can take the bed, I'll just sleep on the floor. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, no, you take the bed, it is your room after all. Izuku, it is, but you the guest. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, fine, how about this, let's sleep on the bed together. Izuku, tea together. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, yes, now come on. She says as she grabs Izuku's hand and gets in bed with him. Eri is between Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. Izuku is facing Eri and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 is facing the opposite direction. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, this is so awkward, what do I say? Should I say something? Suddenly she feels Izuku hugging her. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, Izuku. She turns around and sees that he's asleep. She is blushing and turns around to cuddle with him. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I hope he doesn't mind. Eri is sleeping in the middle of Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 and the three of them are cuddling together, like a family. We see Eri waking up in the middle of Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. She sees 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 cuddling with her and Izuku. Eri, Papa and Ms. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 are sleeping together. She then feels Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟's arms around her and each other. She smiles and closes her eyes and begins to fall asleep. Eri, is she my mama now? She thinks to herself and falls asleep smiling. Time skip, Izuku wakes up and tries to get up, only to realize that Eri is asleep on his settee while 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 is hugging him. Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. He is blushing but realizes that he is also holding them both. Izuku thinks for a moment and calms down. He pets Eri's head and fixes his arm that's holding 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. He notices the two start to smile in their sleep, which makes him smile as well. Izuku, you know what, I'll just let it happen. He says as he lays back and closes his eyes. Izuku, do I love 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟? And if I do, what do I do about Wendy and Tambri? Eri, Papa. Izuku, Eri, what wrong? Eri, is Ms. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 my new mama? Izuku, I'm not sure, Snowflake. Eri, okay Papa, she says as she goes back to sleep. Izuku, what time is it? He looks around for his phone and sees it on the dresser next to the bed. He takes his hand off of Eri and reaches for his phone. He grabs it and checks the time. Izuku, 7:18. He puts his phone back on the dresser and stretches. Izuku, it's early but I should get up anyway. He then slowly gets Eri off of him and places Eri in 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟's hug. Izuku takes a moment to look at the two. Izuku, they both look cute, I should really get a phone. Perhaps Tambri would like to help me. He covers them not in a blanket and leaves his room. Meanwhile, Tambri is on her phone since she couldn't get any sleep. She was too busy thinking about Izuku, she was worried she ruined their friendship together. Tambri, if ****, not sure what Wendy is planning, but I hope it doesn't make things worse. She looks out her window and sees the sun is rising. Tambri, I should got see how Izuku is doing. She says as she gets out of bed and starts to change. Tambri, if I remember right, Wendy said he was living at the mystery shack. She finishes changing and leaves her room. As she is heading downstairs, she sees her mom drinking coffee in the living room. Tambri's mom, good morning. Tambri, morning mom. Tambri's mom, where are you heading off to? Tambri, I'm going to see how Izuku is doing. Tambri's mom, oh, you mean that kid you're in love with? She says in a teasing tone. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Don't say it like that. 𝗵𝗃𝗲's mom, why are you so embarrassed? It's just us, it's not like anyone else is gonna hear us. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I don't know but just stop it please. 𝗵𝗃𝗲's mom, fine I'll stop. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, good, I'll see you later mom. 𝗵𝗃𝗃's mom, be careful 𝗵𝗃𝗃. And 𝗵𝗃𝗃 leaves her home. Time skip, 𝗵𝗃𝗃 has just arrived at the mystery shack. She knocks on the front door and begins to fix her hair and clothes. The door opens revealing Izuku standing there. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, hey Izuku, how you doing? Izuku, I'm doing fine but why are you here? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, oh sorry, did you not want me to come here? Izuku, no, that's not what I meant. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, oh they both stand there in silence. Izuku, so how are you doing here? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well, I wanted to apologize for what me and Wendy made you go through. Izuku, it's okay 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I already forgave you too anyways. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, really? Izuku, yup, it's water under the bridge. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 was relieved that she didn't lose Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, so, I wanted to know if you're planning on doing anything today. Izuku, I don't think so. But 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well I was thinking we could go get you a phone. Izuku, oh well I would love to go with you. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, great, if you're ready to go, then let's, 𝗳𝗍𝗵𝗃. Izuku turns around to see 𝗳𝗍 standing behind him. Izuku, good morning 𝗧𝗪𝗍. 𝗳𝗍, good morning Papa. Izuku, did you get a good night's sleep? 𝗳𝗍, yes but Papa, who is she? Izuku, oh this is a friend of mine. He says as she steps out of the way letting 𝗳𝗍 see her in full view. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, hi I'm 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it's nice to meet you 𝗵𝗃, I'm 𝗳𝗍, it's nice to meet you 𝗳𝗍. She says in a sweet voice trying to make a good impression on 𝗳𝗍. And it works. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izuku, could I talk to you for a sec? Izuku, sure. Izuku says as he crouches down to 𝗳𝗍. Izuku, could you get 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍 for me 𝗧𝗪𝗱? 𝗳𝗍, yes Papa. She says as she runs to Izuku's room to wake up 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍. Izuku, so, what did you want to tell me? He says as he turns around. Once he does he sees 𝗵𝗃𝗃's face and she looks mad. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, a daughter. She screams silently. Izuku, whoa. Calm down and let me explain. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, who is the mother? Izuku, what? There is no mother. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, what do you mean? Izuku, if you calm down I can explain. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 takes a few deep breaths and calms down. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, you better have a good explanation for this 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. Izuku, oh 𝗬𝗪𝗃, she used my last name. Izuku, WLUC, she's not my actual daughter. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izuku, she's my adopted daughter. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, adopted. Izuku, I'll explain it later. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, okay but who is 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟? Izuku, oh she is my 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, hey Izuku. She says as she hugs Izuku from behind. Izuku, hey 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, how are you doing? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I'm okay, so who's your friend here? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, hi it's nice to meet you, I'm 𝗵𝗃𝗃, she says trying to hide her anger. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, nice to meet you, I'm 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well Izuku, I think we should get a move on. Izuku, alright. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, can you watch 𝗳𝗍𝗃 while I'm gone? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, of course Izuku, just come back quick, me and 𝗳𝗍𝗃 want to spend some time with you. Izuku, white 𝗵𝗃𝗃, come on we don't want to get there when it's too dark. She says as she pulls Izuku away from 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 and drags him away. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, what the she just snatches Izuku away from me. She watches 𝗵𝗃𝗃 run off with Izuku. Time skip, we see Izuku and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 leaving the store with Izuku's new phone. Izuku, thanks for helping me get this 𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it's no problem Izuku. Izuku, so, could I get your number? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izuku, your number, could I get your number? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, oh of course. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 gives Izuku her number and he adds it to his contacts. Izuku, thanks. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, you're welcome Izuku, well we have enough time to hang out a bit. What do you say we go get something to eat? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, sure. They both then spend their time together. First they went to get something to eat. Walked around while talking to each other. Izuku told 𝗵𝗃𝗃 about all things he'd done in his universe. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 was amazed by how strong and heroic Izuku was. This just made her fall for him more. Right now we see them sitting on a bench in the park. The park is empty with no one in sight. Izuku, and then we found denki tapes to the ceiling. 𝗵𝗃 laughs how did he even get up there? Izuku, Kaken taped him to the ceiling because he was being annoying, is what Kaken told me. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, he must have had a bad temper. 𝗧𝗑𝗧𝗏, he sure did. 𝗵𝗃 notices Izuku looks a bit upset. 𝗵𝗃, is something wrong Izuku? She says as she places her hand on Izuku's leg. Izuku, I just miss my friend. Even though he was mean to people and had huge outbursts, he was still my childhood friend. And we both cared so much about each other. 𝗵𝗃, I am sorry Izuku, maybe you will see him again. Izuku, I'm not so sure that will happen. 𝗵𝗃, he listen to me. She says as she cups Izuku's cheek with her hand. 𝗵𝗃, I understand what it's like to lose a friend, but you should never lose hope. Maybe one day you will see your friend again. Izuku, you think so? 𝗵𝗃, I know so. Izuku **𝗧**, how did I ever get so lucky to have a good friend like you? 𝗵𝗃, I should be asking you that, but not as friends, she says as she moves Izuku's face facing her. Izuku, then as what? 𝗵𝗃, as lovers, she says as she Izuku's lips. Izuku was about to push her away, but for some reason it felt right. 𝗵𝗃 closes her eyes and wraps her arms around Izuku's neck. Izuku her back as she sits on Izuku. He wraps his arms around her waist and they continue to make out. She takes her arms off of Izuku's neck and slides her hands under Izuku's shirt. Izuku then slides his hands down and gently grabs her butt. She lets out a small as she continues to embrace Izuku. Izuku breaks the embrace. Izuku, sorry, I shouldn't have. 𝗵𝗃, it's okay Izuku. She says as she Izuku once more. Izuku continues to embrace her until he gets a glimpse of the sky. The sun is starting to set. Izuku. Izuku breaks the embrace again. 𝗵𝗃, what's wrong? Izuku, the sun is almost out, I gotta get back to the shack. He says as 𝗵𝗃 gets off him and they both stand up. 𝗵𝗃, yeah, I should get home too. Izuku, I really enjoyed my time with you 𝗵𝗃. He says as he holds her hands in front of him. Izuku, I'll see you later. He says as he gives her an embrace on the cheek and runs off. 𝗵𝗃, I love you Izuku. Izuku, I love you too. He says as he leaves her sight. 𝗵𝗃 waits a bit to process what had happened. 𝗵𝗃, and then she 𝗵𝗃, yes. I did it. Ha. She jumps around with joy. Little does she know, Wendy was watching the whole thing from behind a bush. Wendy, first phase of the plan is complete, now on to the final phase. Why did it take me a day to plan out the shortest plan on the world? I don't know, but it's working. She then sneaks away. And little did she know that as she was spying on 𝗵𝗃, she was also being spied on by Mabel. Mabel, how did she get so lucky with Izuku? I'm not giving up, I will find a way to get older. And then I'll have a chance. She then sneaks away. But little did she know that as she was spying on Wendy, who was spying on 𝗵𝗃, she was being spied on by Dipper. Dipper, why am I here again? Skip, we see Izuku watching TV with 𝗵𝗃𝗧 and 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 is sleeping with her head on his lap, while 𝗵𝗃𝗧 has her head on his shoulder. He didn't care about 𝗵𝗃𝗧's head on his shoulder cause he was too busy celebrating. Izuku, I can't believe it, I got a girlfriend. What will 𝗧𝗏 think of this? Will she be okay with this? I'll tell her tomorrow. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, hey Izuku yeah 𝗵𝗃𝗧. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, I wanted to tell you this for a long time, so here it goes. Izuku looks towards 𝗵𝗃𝗧, which makes her even more nervous. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, ever since we first met I have been feeling something towards you, and I wanted to tell you about it but I was always scared that you would hate me if I told you. Izuku, wait is 𝗧𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, so what I wanted to tell you is that too like you Izuku. Izuku, oh now how do I tell her? Izuku is freaking out. He doesn't know what to tell her, he really likes her too but he already has a girlfriend. Izuku 𝗵𝗃𝗧, is something wrong. If you don't like me that way, then I understand. As she says this, Izuku notices tears forming in her eyes. Izuku, I'm sorry 𝗵𝗃𝗧, Izuku, I like you too. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, really? Izuku, why? 𝗵𝗃𝗧 then Izuku on the lips as she has tears in her eyes. Izuku closes his eyes, he feels bad for what he is doing but he didn't want to break 𝗵𝗃𝗧's heart. 𝗵𝗃𝗧 breaks the embrace and hugs him. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, thank you. Izuku, what are you thanking me for? 𝗵𝗃𝗧, for loving me. Izuku feels like he was stabbed in the heart by guilt. Izuku, of course, I wouldn't have said that if I didn't mean it. 𝗵𝗃𝗧, I'm so happy right now. Izuku, yaso am I Izuku, what have I done? And that's where I end the chapter. How will 𝗵𝗃 feel if she found out 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 confessed to Izuku and he accepted it? How will 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 feel if she found out 𝗵𝗃 is Izuku's girlfriend? How will Eri feel about having to mamas? Will Mabel make herself older? Maybe. We see Izuku in the store he helped clean with the ghost girl. I need to think of a name for the abandoned store. Any thoughts of what it should be called? I would love to hear some of them. Right now Izuku is working on the cashier. Izuku, that would be $8.45 ma'am. Random women, do you accept? Squirrels. Izuku what? Izuku and no, only cash ma'am. Random women, okay fine. She pays for what she was buying and leaves the store. Izuku closes the store and walks back to the counter. Izuku, that was weird Evelyn, tell me about it. Izuku the fooch he panics and falls on the floor. Evelyn, oh shoot I'm so sorry, are you okay? Izuku, I am fine. Evelyn helps Izuku up and dusts him off. Evelyn, I didn't mean to scare you. I mean I did but I also didn't. She covers her face with her hands with a big blush on his face. Evelyn, this is so embarrassing. Izuku is about to say something to her until he feels his phone starts to ring. He hears the Gravity Falls theme song from his phone and answers it. Izuku, hello. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, hey Zuzu. Izuku, Zuzu. Izuku, hey 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, how are you doing? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I'm doing good, what are you doing? Izuku, I'm just working at the store for Evelyn and I gotta say, I'm starting to like it here. Evelyn, is that 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 girl? She says as she come from behind Izuku. Evelyn, chai 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. She says as she screams into Izuku's phone. Izuku, ow my ear. He says as he moves the phone from his ear. Evelyn then grabs his phone and runs off with it. Izuku, Evelyn, stop, I just got that phone yesterday. He shouts as he chases after her. He chases her around the store and while Evelyn is talking to 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 on the phone. Evelyn, hi, I'm Evelyn. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, wait, you're that ghost girl, right? Evelyn, yup, and Izuku is here helping me out with the store. Izuku, give me back my phone, Evelyn. He says as he jumps at Evelyn. Evelyn sees Izuku jump at her and screams. Izuku smacks into her and falls on the floor with her. She drops the phone but Izuku catches it with his black WHP. Izuku ***, thank God I was able to catch it. I wouldn't want to break another foch. As he looks down he notices the position him and Evelyn are in. They are both inches away from each other's faces. Izuku waist is pressed against hers and they are both just staring into each other's eyes. Izuku 0////0 Evelyn 0////0 Izuku, I'm sorry. He says as he tries to push himself up. His hand slips and he falls on Evelyn. And his lips land on Evelyn's. They both blush strong as this happens. Before Izuku could get up and apologize, Evelyn hugs Izuku and wraps her legs around him. Izuku has made a new color from blushing to strong. Evelyn's eyes are heart-shaped and Izuku can see that. He looks towards his phone and noticed that the call ended. Izuku, I must have ended the call when I fell. Izuku looks back towards Evelyn and sees that she is enjoying the embrace. Izuku eventually gives and her back. He wraps his arms around and breaks the embrace. Izuku then her neck and accidentally nibbles on it a bit. Evelyn lets out and grasps onto Izuku's shirt. Izuku backs off and looks towards Evelyn. Izuku, I am so sorry. I don't know what 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. Evelyn just stares at Izuku's eyes. She sees his emerald eyes shine in the dark as his shadow covers the front of his body. Izuku, please forgive me. I didn't mean to. He is cut off as Evelyn Izuku again. She flips him around and ends up on top of him. She breaks the embrace and slides her hand under his shirt. She can feel his muscles and she loves it. Izuku ni Evelyn. He shouts as he is blushing. He could feel her cold hands move around his Isian abs. Even if they are cold, they feel soft and comfortable. Evelyn, sure, just sit back and let me handle it, she says as she takes her hands out of his shirt and moves her hands down to his. Before she could do anything, Izuku grabs her hands and she looks at Izuku. He is blushing strong and has his eyes closed. Evelyn, Izuku. Izuku, I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm not ready for this. Evelyn, I seem sorry. She says as she gets up off of him. Izuku, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Evelyn, it's okay. You can go now, she says as the front doors open. Izuku, are you sure? I could stay 𝗵𝗃 𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗛𝗡. No, you can go now, she says as she floats away from Izuku. Izuku, good job Izuku. He then leaves the store feeling bad for 𝗵𝗃. To him, he basically just rejected her. Izuku, you probably just ruined your friendship with her, you idiot. He then walks back to the shack with his head down. Meanwhile, we see 𝗵𝗃 who is with Wendy. 𝗵𝗃, so let me get this straight. Your plan is to make a HRM for Izuku. Wendy, yup. 𝗵𝗃, but what if Izuku doesn't like it? Wendy, I didn't think that far ahead. 𝗵𝗃*𝗧*, maybe we should tell him about this, you know. Wendy, yeah, I guess you're right. Come on, let's go to the mystery shack. 𝗵𝗃, I'm right behind you. And they both head to the shack. Meanwhile, we see 𝗵𝗃 who is in the employees only room. She has the lights off and is sitting on the floor hugging her knees in tears. She is crying to herself and hates herself for what she did to Izuku. 𝗵𝗃, why did I do that to Izuku? I must have made him really uncomfortable. She says to herself as tears begin to stream down her eyes. 𝗵𝗃, he was the only friend I had and I ruined it. Now I'm all alone again, with no one to make me smile. 𝗵𝗃, I'm sorry Izuku, please don't leave me, she says to herself as she continues to cry to herself. As she is crying, she hears a phone ringing outside her door. She gets up and opens the door and sees Izuku's phone on the floor. 𝗵𝗃 𝗧𝗑. She picks it up and sees 𝗵𝗃 calling. She answers it and hears 𝗵𝗃's voice on the other side. 𝗵𝗃, hi 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, why do you shave Izuku's phone? 𝗵𝗃, he forgot his phone when he left. 𝗵𝗃, okay, can you take his phone back to him? 𝗵𝗃, probably. 𝗵𝗃, okay, great, I'll talk to you later. See ya 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, yup, bye, and she hangs up. 𝗵𝗃***, okay, you can do this, just go to the shack and say you're sorry. She says as she goes out of the store. 𝗵𝗃, even if he doesn't like you back, you can still be his friend. Right? And she flies over to the shack, thinking about what to say when she gets there. Meanwhile, Izuku and 𝗬𝗍 are drawing pictures together in Izuku's room. 𝗬𝗍, Papa, look what I made. Izuku looks up from his drawing and looks at 𝗬𝗍. 𝗬𝗍 drew him, 𝗬𝗍 and the other girls he has met together, holding hands. Izuku, 𝗬𝗍, how do you know them? 𝗬𝗍, well, Dipper told me about them, he said they all like you. Izuku, why you don't say? 𝗬𝗍, he said you love them too. Izuku blushes to that but shakes it off. 𝗬𝗍, does that mean they're gonna be my mamas? Izuku, I am not sure 𝗬𝗍, they need to be okay with it but I don't think they're gonna be fine with it. 𝗧𝗏𝗡 okay with what? Izuku jumps and looks behind him. Izuku hey 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏, hey Zuzu. She says as she hugs him and him on the cheek. Even though Izuku does love her, he feels like he doesn't deserve her. He is basically cheating on 𝗵𝗃 and he hates himself for it. So he decides to tell her about 𝗵𝗃. Izuku, 𝗧𝗏, I need to talk to you 𝗧𝗏. Oh, what is it? Izuku, well, this is something I need to tell you privately, so hold on a sec. Izuku goes at 𝗬𝗍 and picks up a piece of paper. Izuku, hey 𝗬𝗍, why don't you go draw something for Grunkle Stan? 𝗬𝗍, okay Papa. She says as she takes the paper from Izuku's hand and runs off with a box of crayons. 𝗧𝗏, okay, so what did you want to tell me? Izuku, I'm so sorry 𝗧𝗏, sorry for what? Izuku faces 𝗧𝗏 with some tears in his eyes. 𝗧𝗏, Izuku, what's wrong? Izuku, I don't deserve you 𝗧𝗏. Izuku, what are you talking about? Izuku's 𝗵𝗃 and IWE both started dating yesterday 𝗧𝗏 𝗬𝗏. Izuku and when you told me you loved me, I lived you too, but that was the problem, I was already dating 𝗵𝗃 but I loved you too. I didn't want to break your heart, so I said I do 𝗧𝗏. I don't understand Izuku, I'm sorry but two can't do this to you both. I'm basically cheating and Jay should have told you about her. 𝗧𝗏 starts to tear up. Izuku, I think it's best if we stop dating, I'm sorry. He says as he gets up and walks out of his room in tears. 𝗧𝗏, W8. She shouts to Izuku as she stands up. Izuku stops in his tracks and listens to 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏, I don't care if you love her too, please don't break up with me. She says as she hugs Izuku from behind. Izuku, but would she be okay with it? 𝗧𝗏, Izuku moves her arms and faces her. Izuku, I don't want to hurt your feelings but this doesn't feel right to me 𝗧𝗏, please maybe she'll be okay with it. Izuku, then you'll have to ask her but for now, We're just friends, he says as he starts to walk away. Izuku, I'm sorry, and he leaves his room. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 falls to her knees and puts her hands to her face crying. Izuku can hear her crying and holds his 𝗧𝗍 with his hand. Izuku, I'm so sorry 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, and he walks away. After some walking we see him go outside. He decides to go for a walk to clear his mind. He walks into the forest and continues to walk further in. He eventually comes across an opening. There is a small pond and a log laying on the floor. He sits on the log and puts his hands on his face. Izuku, did I do the right thing? Izuku rubs the temple of his head. Izuku, yes, this is what's best for her. Izuku holds his 𝗧𝗍 and clutches onto his shirt. Izuku, even if it hurts at first, she'll move on eventually. Meanwhile, we see 𝗵𝗃𝗲 and Wendy just arriving to the mystery shack. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, so how are we gonna tell him we both are sharing him? Wendy, we just tell him we both love you, so we decided to share you, and that's it. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, how are you so confident this will work? Wendy, I'm not sure it will work, but I'm just staying positive. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. As they are about to enter, they see Evelyn flying towards them. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, hey Evelyn. Evelyn, hey Wendy, why is Evelyn here? 𝗵𝗃𝗲, Izuku forgot his phone at the store we went to. Wendy. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, but Evelyn, you okay? You sound pretty upset. Evelyn, if I tell you, will you get mad? 𝗵𝗃𝗲, I don't know why I would be mad, but no. Evelyn, well, when you called him, I took his phone and he chased after me. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, yeah, I remember that, but you guys hung up on me. Evelyn, well, he caught me but we fell, he accidentally hung up on you. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, oh well, what happened after? Evelyn, well, we accidentally made out. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, Wendy, Evelyn, I'm sorry, it was an accident. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, well, if it was an accident then I'm fine with it, but what do you mean you made outs? Evelyn, I might have topped him when we made out. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, did you 𝗧𝗃 him? Evelyn, what no. Well, we almost did, but he stopped me. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, thank God. Evelyn, but I think I ruined our friendship. Wendy, hey 𝗵𝗃𝗃, come here a sec. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, what is it? Wendy, why don't we invite Evelyn to the 𝗧𝗏? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, really? Wendy, yeah, she seems to care about Izuku, so why not? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well, alright then. Wendy, alright, hey Evelyn. Evelyn, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, we want to invite you to the 𝗧𝗏. Evelyn, 𝗧𝗏. Wendy, it's where a group of people like one person and they share him, her. Evelyn, oh, well, is it okay if I join? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, that's why we invited you. Evelyn, alright, sorry Wendy, it's alright, anyways we should tell Izuku about the 𝗧𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. The three then walk to the door and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 knocks on it. The door opens and shows 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, who are you and how do you know Izuku? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I'm 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, and I'm from the same school as Izuku. Wendy, so you're from his universe too? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, universe? What do you mean? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well, you're in our universe where we don't have any quirks. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, oh, that explains a lot. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, anyways, I'm 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and this is Wendy and Evelyn. Wendy, sup? Evelyn, hello. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, 𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, that's my name. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, so you're the one Izuku is dating. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, how did you know that? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, because Izuku told me. Wendy, well, you sound pretty upset about it. Why? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, because I love Izuku and when I told him I did, he accepted it. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗧𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, but it didn't last long. He broke up with me. Wendy, why? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, he told me he loved me and he did, but he broke up with me cause he was dating you. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, but why did he accept it in the first place? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, he told me he didn't want to break my heart, but in the end he did. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'm so sorry. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, what are you sorry for? You made him fall for you first, and I have to accept it. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 feels bad for 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 and gets an idea. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, hey Wendy, I think we should invite her. Wendy, you sure? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, I'm sure. Wendy, alright then. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, hey 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'm sorry for what happened, but I want to invite you to the 𝗧𝗏. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, what? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I know you really love Izuku and I don't want to be the reason you can't be with him. So what do you say? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, as long as I can be with Izuku then I'm okay with it. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, great. Wendy, so for girls like Izuku, we are so gonna give him a strong time in bed. 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗧, the girls blush at the thought of doing it with him. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, shut up Wendy. Wendy, huh? Evelyn, so where's Izuku anyways? 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I'm actually not sure. Evelyn, should we wait for him to get back? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yeah, let's wait a while longer. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗘, come inside, it's pretty cold out here. And the girls enter the shack. They wait for Izuku to come back, and while they talk about Izuku. Meanwhile, Izuku is walking back to the shack still upset. Izuku, will things be the same with 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗘 anymore? As he says this, he hears a meow in the bushes. Izuku. He hears the meow again and walks towards the bushes. He moves the bushes and sees a black cat with blue eyes. Izuku, what's a cat doing way out here? The cat looks at Izuku and meows again. Izuku, what are you doing way out here? The cat tilts its head in confusion. Izuku looks around and looks back at the cat again. Izuku picks the cat up and inspects it. Izuku, no collar or name tag. Izuku, so you're a stray, huh? Izuku thinks for a bit. Izuku, this cat has nowhere else to go, maybe I should take them with me. I mean, I always wanted a cat, so why not? Izuku, you wanna come with me, little guy? The cat meows and Izuku smiles. Izuku, great. As Izuku says that, the cat climbs on Izuku's shoulder and sits in his hood. Izuku, you're really light, let's get you something to eat. The cat meows again and Izuku begins to walk away with the car in his hood. Izuku, is it a boy or a girl? I'll figure it out later. Right now I should get it some food. And they both head back to the shack. Time skip. Izuku has just arrived to the shack and opens the door. Once he enters the shack, the cat crawls out of his hood and into his arms. Izuku walks over to the kitchen and puts the car down. Izuku, let's see, what would a cat eat? As Izuku is thinking about what to get the car to eat, 𝗵𝗃𝗃 enters the kitchen and sees the cat sitting next to Izuku's foot. 𝗵𝗃 **gasp** kitten. As she shouts, the cat and Izuku jump in shock. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 runs over and picks the cat up. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, ah, they're so soft, she says as she snuggles the cat to death. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, perhaps you should calm down on the hugging. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. She looks down and sees the cat struggling to breath. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, oh my god, I'm so sorry, she says as she puts the car down. The cat is breathing heavily and walks over to Izuku, hiding behind his legs. Izuku, you okay, bud? He says as he crouches down to the cat, petting them. The cat meows and rubs its head against his hand. Izuku, good. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'm so sorry, kitty. The cat hisses at 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and stays hiding behind Izuku's legs. Izuku, don't worry, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'm sure they'll forgive you eventually. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, maybe, but what are you doing? Izuku, oh, I'm trying to find something edible for the cat. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I don't think we have anything for the cat to eat, but we do have milk. Izuku, that's good enough, he says as he opens the first and takes the milk out. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 grabs a bowl and places it down on the floor. Izuku pours the milk in the bowl and the cat walks over to the bowl and starts to drink it. Izuku, thanks for the help, 𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, anytime, Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 then begins to leave but then remembers something and turns around. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, hey Izuku, can I tell you something? Izuku, sure, what is it? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well, I wanted to tell you this for a while now. Izuku, go on. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I like you, Izuku. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izuku. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'm flattered but you're too young for me. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, no I'm not. Izuku, how old are you again? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'm 12. Izuku, I'm 16. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, maybe we could make it work if you were 15 but you're not. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, ah Izuku, I'm sorry 𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it's okay, I'll just have to get older. Izuku, I'm not sure you can just make yourself older. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I'll find a way. Izuku thinks 𝗵𝗃𝗃 is just joking around and goes along with it. Izuku, then I'll be waiting, he says as he walks away. The cat has finished the bowl of milks and runs after Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, maybe Dipper's journal might have something, she says as she runs off. Izuku is in front of his room. He opens his door and sees the girls sitting on his bed and floor. They all stare at him and get up. Izuku, what is going on? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, well, we all have talked and we all love you. Izuku, what? 𝗵𝗃𝗃, yup, all of us in here have a thing for you. Izuku, I'm honestly not sure how I feel about that, Wendy, so we decided to become a 𝗧𝗵𝗃 for you. Izuku, 𝗧𝗵𝗃. Evelyn, we all love and care for you so much, so we decided to share you. Izuku is flustered and confused at the same time. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, so we wanted to know if you're okay with it. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, so Izuku, what do you say? Izuku, Izuku is nervous. The girls are waiting for Izuku's response and it makes him super nervous. Izuku, look, it's been a long day full of events, I need to think about this, so is it okay if I tell you tomorrow? 𝗵𝗃, yeah, we can wait, right girls? The girls agree, and as they do they see the black cat hiding behind Izuku's legs. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, where did you get that adorable cat? Izuku, he looks behind his legs and sees the cat hiding behind his legs. Izuku, oh, I found them in a bush when I was coming back from my walk. Evelyn, did you give them a name yet? Izuku, no, but I'll give them one tomorrow. Wendy, alright, well, I'm gonna go home, I'm tired. She says as she leaves Izuku's room. Izuku, later Wendy. Evelyn, yeah, I'm going back to his store, I'll see ya tomorrow Izuku. She says as she floats away. Izuku, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow Evelyn. 𝗵𝗃 by Izu. She says as she gives him an embrace and leaves. Izuku by 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, I'm just gonna go now. She says as she's about to leave. Izuku, wait 𝗵𝗃. She stops and turns around. As she does so, Izuku hugs her. Izuku, I'm sorry for what I did today. I didn't mean to make you cry, I just, 𝗵𝗃, sure it's okay Izuku, you were just doing what you thought was right, I understand. Izuku, so, you're okay now? 𝗵𝗃, yeah, I'm fine now. But I'll be even happier if you accept us. Izuku, well, you'll just have to find out tomorrow. 𝗵𝗃, I can't wait. She says as she leaves the room. Izuku, now about you. He says as he looks towards the cat. Izuku, it's time to give you a bath. As he says this, the cat understands and slowly backs away from Izuku. Izuku, you better not run, cause even if you do, the cat looks directly in Izuku's eyes. Izuku, you won't stand a chance. As he says this, the cat runs between his legs, but they don't get far. Izuku's black WHP catches the cat and Izuku walks to the bathroom. Izuku, trust me, this is for your own good. The cat meows in disagreement to Izuku's words and tries to break free from Izuku's black WHP. But the cat can't and is forced to take a bath. Izuku, W, stop scratching me. Time skip. After a long war between Izuku and the cat, Izuku came out of the bathroom victorious with the cat wrapped around in a towel in his hands. Izuku, you put up a greatest fight little one, the cat meows in agreement. Izuku walks over to the bed and dries the cat up with the towel. Izuku, alright, I'm tired, let's go find 𝗧𝗍, he says as he leaves his room with the cat following. After looking around, he finds 𝗧𝗍 playing with 𝗵𝗃. They both seems to be sticking stickers on their favorite things. They both see Izuku and run over to him. 𝗵𝗃 sticks a heart on his 𝗧𝗍, while 𝗧𝗍 puts a star on his leg. Izuku, what are you doing? 𝗧𝗍, me and 𝗵𝗃 are putting stickers on our favorite things. Izuku, am I your favorite? 𝗧𝗍, you'll always be my favorite papa. She says as she hugs his legs. As she does so, she notices the cat hiding behind his legs. 𝗧𝗍, oh kitty. As she shouts that, the cat gets a flashback of 𝗵𝗃 hugging them to death. The cat then starts to back away slowly. Izuku, just be careful with them, they are very nervous around new people. 𝗧𝗍 slowly walks towards the cat and pets the cat. The cat enjoys 𝗧𝗍's petting and purrs to it. 𝗧𝗍, papa, they're making a weird noise. And they're vibrating. Izuku, that means they like it, 𝗧𝗍. 𝗧𝗍 then stops petting the cat and yawns. Izuku, someone seems tired, come on 𝗧𝗍, let's go to bed. 𝗵𝗃, night 𝗧𝗍, night Izuku. 𝗧𝗍, good night 𝗵𝗃. Izuku, night 𝗵𝗃. Izuku picks 𝗧𝗍 up and walks away to his room, while the cat follows them. After Izuku enters his room, he lays 𝗧𝗍 down and he changes into comfortable clothes. He lays down and 𝗧𝗍 snuggles up to Izuku. 𝗧𝗍, good night papa. Izuku, good night my little snowflake. And as they fall asleep, the cat jumps on the bed and curls up in a ball, laying on the edge of the bed. The cat meows and Izuku laughs to himself a bit. Izuku, good night to you too, and they fall asleep. We starts the chapter off as we see Izuku about to leave the shack. 𝗵𝗃, don't you think it's a bit too early to go out? Izuku, yeah, but I need to get Mystique some things if I'm gonna keep her. 𝗵𝗃, Mystique. You already named her. Izuku, yeah, it's still funny how we found out she was a girl. 𝗵𝗃, she was stretching in front of me, she caught me by surprise. Izuku laughs why, yeah, but I do need to get her things so she doesn't destroy the room. I don't want to come back and see my room scratched up with pillows ripped to shreds. 𝗵𝗃, yeah, I guess you're right about that. Izuku, I'll be back, just take care of 𝗧𝗍 while I'm gone, alright. 𝗵𝗃, yeah, I'll watch her, I promise. Izuku, thanks. He says as he walks up to her and her on the cheek. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 blushes and Izuku runs off blushing as well. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I guess he agrees with the 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, she says as she holds her cheek with her hand and smiles with a small blush. Meanwhile, we see Mabel in the forest with Dipper and they are looking for something they found in a journal. Dipper, I can't believe I didn't see this in the journal. Mabel, I know, all we have to do is find that blue slime stuff and drink it, but where can we find it? Dipper, it says here that it should be right around here. He says as he points on a map that was drawn on the next page. Mabel, so we should be close to it, right? Dipper, think so. They both look around a bit longer and eventually arrive to their destination. It's a small clearing with a small pond with a log laying down in front of it. Dipper, okay, if I'm reading this right, it should be near the pond under a rock. Mabel, alright, let's look under every rock. She says and they both walk over to the pond and begin to look around. They look under every rock and eventually, Mabel finds the slime. Mabel, Dipper, I found it. Dipper runs over and they see that the slime is inside of 3 small vials. They pick up the vials and Mabel inspects it. Mabel, so all we have to do is drink it, right? Dipper, yeah, but once we do this, it's permanent. Mabel, you mean we're gonna be older permanently? Dipper, yeah, I'm having second thoughts, Mabel. Once we do this, you'll have a chance to be with Wendy. Dipper, I'm not stupid, Mabel. She knows that I like her. I can see it when I'm around her. Mabel, you never know, Dipper. I think you have a cha, Dipper. I'm sorry, Mabel, but I'm not sure about this. Once we drink this, it says we will have the knowledge of teens. Mabel, almost as if our future selves time traveled here. Dipper, yeah, basically, Mabel, are you sure about this? Mabel, Dipper, for the first time I think I actually have a chance with Izuku, and I don't want to waste it, so yeah, I'm ready. Dipper, too, want to think for a bit before I do this, Mabel? Alright, well, here goes nothing. She says as she opens the vial and drinks the slime. As she drinks it, Dipper stands back a bit, hiding behind the log. She drinks the whole thing and waits for a bit. Dipper, are you okay? Mabel, I didn't feel any different. Dipper, maybe I read it wrong. He says as he opens his journal and read through it. As he does, Mabel starts to glow a blue aura. Mabel, Dipper. Dipper, He looks up and sees Mabel glowing. Dipper, oh shoot, I think it's part of it. He says as he hides back behind the log. As Mabel is glowing, she can feel herself getting older. Her clothes start to stretchy out, she starts to get taller and is learning things she never knew. The glowing stops and she looks down to herself. She notices she is much taller and her sweater is stretched out past her stomach, covering her. Is Mabel. She covers her mouth as she sounds much older. Mabel, wow, I sound so much older. Dipper looks over the log and sees his twin sister who looks much more different now. She doesn't have her braces anymore, and her hair looks the same. Dipper, you look different. Mabel, Mom and Dad are gonna be so surprised. Dipper, I know, Mabel, well, I feel different, but a good different. Dipper, so you don't feel like you want to cause mayhem. Mabel, I feel fine, Dipper, why don't you do it with me? Besides, we are siblings, right? Dipper thinks for a bit, and he doesn't want to be 4 years behind Mabel, so Dipper, I hope I don't regret this, he says as Mabel jumps with joy and gives him a vial. He opens it and hesitates to drink it. Mabel, you don't have to do it, Dipper, I'll just be way taller and cooler than you. She says as she pulls out sunglasses out of nowhere. Dipper, where did you? Mabel, don't question it. Dipper starts to have thoughts in his head. Dipper, should I mean I'll have a chance with Wendy, but I know she likes 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, I don't want Mabel to be taller than me, so not. And he drinks the vial. After he drinks it, he waits a bit and after a while, he starts to glow with a blue aura. He gets taller and his clothes start to stretch. And he grows a small beard, like he shaved a week ago. He stops glowing and he checks himself out. Mabel goes to him and puts her hand above his head. She moves her hand above her head and looks at it. Mabel, hey, we're the same height. Dipper, that's nice. Mabel, well, let's get back to the shack. Dipper, right, let's go. Mabel, out, wait a sec, what do we do with this vial? She says as she pulls it out of his pocket. Dipper, why don't we hold on to it? Mabel, like just in case. Dipper, in case for what? Mabel, I dunno. She stuffs it back in her pocket and they both head back to the shack. Meanwhile, we see Izuku as he leaves Evelyn's store. Should I just call it Evelyn's store? Or do you guys got something better? If so, I would like to hear it. Izuku, well, Now that I'm done with work and I got things for Mystique's needs, I'm gonna head back to the shack, set this up, feed her and finally take a nap. He dashes home with a green lighting following him. Time skip. Izuku is at the front door and is holding bags of things a cat needs with a big box that has a scratching post. Izuku 𝗧𝗵𝗲 I can't get the door. He knocks on the door with his foot and hears someone he doesn't recognize shout on the other side. 𝗵𝗃, coming, she opens the door and helps Izuku in. Izuku thanks for the help. He says as he puts the box down. He turns around to face 𝗵𝗃 and as he does so he sees a 15-year-old 𝗵𝗃 standing in front of him with a sweater that isn't stretched out with her shooting star on it, and is wearing a skirt with blue ripped jeans. Izuku, I don't think we met. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, it's me, 𝗵𝗃. Izuku 𝗵𝗃. He shouts as he is absolutely shocked. Izuku, how did you dash? I'm so confused. 𝗵𝗃, that's something you don't really need to know, but hey, I'm old enough to date you now. Izuku, wait, she wasn't joking. 𝗵𝗃, well, what do you think? She says as she walks closer to Izuku, putting her hand on his Izuku. Izuku is blushing as a appealing girl a year from his age is super close to him. Izuku, why you look be appealing but 𝗵𝗃, but what's? Izuku, isn't this a little too fast? 𝗵𝗃, well, we can take it slow if you want. Izuku, look, how about I take you on a date? 𝗵𝗃, really? Izuku, why yeah, and if you really want to be a thing with me, then I guess we can be together. 𝗵𝗃, oh my god, thank you so much Izuku. She says as she hugs him and gives him a big embrace on the lips. She breaks it and runs off, celebrating. Izuku just stands there in a blushing mess. Izuku, this is fine, right? I mean, she is a year younger than me, also this is fine, yeah, this is fine. He snaps out of it and picks his stuff up and takes it to his room. As he leaves the living room, he didn't know 𝗵𝗃 was watching and was enjoying the show. 𝗵𝗃, I guess we have a new member in the 𝗧𝗵𝗃. And she leaves the living room. Izuku opens his door and as soon as he does, Mystique and Eri sees Izuku and run over to him. Eri papa. They both run around him and Izuku puts the bags and box down. Izuku, hey Eri and Mystique. Mystique meows as she stand up and holds onto Izuku's leg. Eri hugs Izuku and Izuku pets them both on the head. Izuku, you both seem to miss me. Eri nods and Mystique meows as she lets go of Izuku and jumps around. Eri then notices the huge box on the floor. Eri, what's that, papa? She asks as she points at it. Izuku, oh, it's something for Mystique. It's kinda like a toy for her. Eri, oh really? Izuku, yeah, do you want to help me make it? Eri, yes. She says as she lets go of Izuku and runs over to the box. Izuku laughs a bit and they both start to make Mystique's scratching post. Time skip. Izuku and Eri have finished and are both super tired. Izuku and Eri are laying on the floor tired as hell. Izuku, well, what do you think, Mystique's? Mystique walks to Izuku and jumps on his stomach. Mystique then Izuku's face and nuzzles her head in Izuku's cheek. Izuku, I guess you like it, huh? Izuku looks at the scratching post and it has platforms with a small cave-like house on top of it. Mystique jumps off of Izuku and climbs on it, and enters the small house on the top. Izuku, is it comfy? Mystique pokes her head out and meows. Izuku, nice, so what do you think, Eri? He looks towards Eri and sees she's asleep. Izuku, I guess we did do a lot. How he struggles to get up and he does. He picks Eri up and walks over to his bed, laying her down on it. He is about to lay down with her too until he hears a knock. Izuku. He walks over to it and opens the door. He sees 𝗵𝗃 in pajamas with a tired look. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, is it okay if I sleep with you? Izuku, why yeah, I don't see why not. He is too tired to care, so he lets her in and closes the door. He lays down on the bed as 𝗵𝗃 is too tired to realize she is laying down on Izuku. Izuku knows she is on him, but it feels too comfortable to do anything. He pulls Eri towards him and 𝗵𝗃 and cuddles with them both. And passes out with 𝗵𝗃. We start the chapter off as we see Izuku talking to himself, staring at a mirror. Izuku, okay, so you're basically taking a 12-year-old on a date even though she somehow turned 15 in a day. I mean, it's okay, right? She is a year from my age, so it's cool, right? I don't think it is. Even though she is 15 physically, she is still a 12-year-old, I think. She didn't really explain what happened. I'll ask her cause I'm still not sure about this. I don't want to go to jail. He backs away from the mirror and leaves the bathroom. As he is passing through his room, he sees Mystique playing with Eri. Izuku smiles by the sight and leaves his room. He walks around the shack trying to find Mabel, and as he is searching for her, he sees Dipper watching TV. Izuku, Dipper, you're older too. Dipper, oh, yeah, I got older with Mabel. Izuku, okay then, if the same thing happened to you then you'll know the answers to my question. Dipper, then let me hear it. Izuku, okay, so Mabel came to me and she said she liked me, so I decided to take her on a date, and I'm not sure if that's a good idea because I think she is a 12-year-old in the body of a 15-year-old and I'm scared I'll be sent to jail and I don't know what to do cause so please tell me. He tells Dipper as he tries to catch his breath. Dipper, that was a lot of information, but I think I know what you're asking. Izuku, why you do? Dipper, you're asking if she's a 12-year-old in her head. Izuku, why yeah, that's basically it. Dipper, well you don't gotta worry about that, as you should know we aren't 12 anymore. Not only is our body older but our mind got older along with it, so basically our future selves took our spot. Izuku, so, you're saying you both are basically your future selves? Dipper, yup, we aren't 12 anymore. Just two 15-year-olds now. Izuku, how did you both even do this? Dipper, I can't tell you cause Mabel wants it to be a secret. Izuku, alright then, so it's okay to take Mabel on a dates. Dipper, yup, you won't go to jail. Izuku sighs in relief and is super glad he won't go to jail for this. Dipper, so, you're taking Mabel on a date? Izuku, yeah, she wants to go on one today. Dipper, oh that's good for her. Izuku, anyways, do you know where Mabel is? Dipper, oh yeah, she's outside talking with 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗏. Izuku, cool, thanks Dipper. He says as he puts his fist out, fist bumping Dipper. HS leaves the living room and goes outside. With Dipper he starts to think to himself. Dipper, I know Wendy doesn't like me like that and I'm fine with that, it'll be strong to move on but at least she's happy, maybe I'll find someone else. And he goes back to watching his show. Meanwhile, we see Mabel asking 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 for advice for the date. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, just be yourself Mabel, I'm sure he likes you just the way you are. Mabel, right, sorry I'm just really nervous. This is the first date I've ever been on and I really don't want to mess this up. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, you'll be fine, 𝗧𝗏𝗏. Izuku's coming right now. Mabel turns around and sees Izuku waving towards them. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, remember, just be yourself and you'll be fine Mabel. Good luck. She say as she walks off and waves goodbye to Izuku. Izuku, hey Mabel, you ready for the D-date? He says as he rubs the back of his head. Mabel up, I'm ready. She says as nervous, she doesn't want to mess up her date with Izuku. Izuku, great, let's go. He says as he puts his hand out to Mabel. She stares at it for a moment and takes his hand. They both then proceed to head in the town of Gravity Falls. Time skip, we see Izuku and Mabel at the mall, thinking what they should do. Mabel, oh, how about we go try some clothes on? Izuku, I don't see why not, plus I might find some clothes for Eri. Mabel, great, let's go. She says as she takes Izuku's hand and runs to the nearest clothing shop. For girls. Izuku realizes where Mabel is taking him and starts to hesitate. Izuku, Mabel, I'm not sure I should be here. Mabel, Izuku, look, there are other guys here too. Izuku, well yeah but, Izuku, you're fine, just stay with me, okay? Izuku, he says, blushing as he is looking down to the floor. Mabel can see he is uncomfortable here. Mabel, Izuku, you don't have to stay here if you don't want to. Izuku, no, I'll be okay. Mabel, you sure? I don't want to force you to stay. Izuku, I'll be fine Mabel, come on. He says as he takes Mabel's hand and goes into the girls' clothing store. Once they enter the store, Mabel starts to look around the store for clothes she likes, while Izuku is staying close to Mabel. Mabel, hey Izuku, how does this look? She says as she shows Izuku a black shirt with a star full of glitter in the middle of it. Izuku, I'm not sure, maybe you should try it on. Mabel, good idea, but first I need to find some, she says as she continues to look around. As she does, Izuku goes on his phone as he is waiting for Mabel to get her clothes. As he is on his phone, he notices a group of girls are watching him. They keep glancing towards Izuku and he knows they are talking about him. Eventually, almost every girl that is in the store start glancing towards Izuku. Izuku, why are they all staring at me? Do I have something in my hair? He thinks he does and moves his fingers through his hair. This makes the girls in the store more interested in him. 𝗵𝗃 Izuku, I think I got everything. Izuku, nice, go try them on. 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗍, come on. She says, taking Izuku's hand. She drags him to the changing room. The girls that were watching start to get jealous as 𝗵𝗃 takes Izuku away. They both end up in the changing room and 𝗵𝗃 sits Izuku down on a chair. 𝗵𝗃, okay, stay right here. She says as she goes into a changing stall. Izuku, okay. He sits there and stares at the floor. As he is waiting, he starts to think for things he has never thought of before. Izuku, what comes first in the orange, the color or the fruit? Izuku, hey 𝗵𝗃. maybe. Izuku, what comes first in a orange, the fruit or the color? 𝗵𝗃, I think it was the fruit. Izuku, what makes you say that? 𝗵𝗃, well, back when we were cave people, we knew what an orange was first before we created colors. Izuku, so you're saying oranges were discovered first? 𝗵𝗃, I think so. Izuku, okay. 𝗵𝗃, anyways, what do you think? She says as she leaves the stall. She is wearing a black shirt with a shooting star filled with glitter, and she is wearing tight blue jeans. Izuku is amazed by how she looks and is speechless. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, you there? She says as she waves her hand in front of Izuku's face. He snaps out of it and is slightly blushing. Izuku, why you look amazing, 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, I do. Izuku, yes. Why you look appealing, he says as he looks away blushing. 𝗵𝗃 smiles with a blush and walks over to Izuku. She hugs him while looking up to him. 𝗵𝗃, thank you, Izuku. She says as she then gives him an embrace on the cheek. Izuku, why you're welcome, 𝗵𝗃. He says as he hugs her back. 𝗵𝗃, okay, let's go buy these and get you some clothes. She says as she breaks the hug and drags Izuku. Izuku, what's wrong with what I'm wearing? 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, you've been wearing the same thing since you got here. Izuku, you got a point, 𝗵𝗃, now come on. She says as she continues to drag Izuku. Time skip, we see 𝗵𝗃 looking around the store, looking for clothes that look good on him. While Izuku is looking around the store. 𝗵𝗃, oh, Izuku, how about this? She says as she shows Izuku. Izuku, I'm not sure. 𝗵𝗃, go try it on. She says as she gives Izuku the clothes and drags him to the changing stall. She pushes him in the stall and closes the door. Izuku, okay. And he starts to change. While Izuku is changing, 𝗵𝗃 is waiting for Izuku. As she is waiting, a random guy walks up to her. Random guy, hey there, appealing, 𝗵𝗃, hi. Random guy, so, I was wondering if I could take you on a date. 𝗵𝗃, no sorry, I'm actually on a date already. Random guy, oh come on, I bet I'm better than him. He says as he starts to get closer to 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, no, I'm not going with you. She says as she back away, clearly uncomfortable. Random guy, come on, I'll show you a good time, especially in bed, 𝗵𝗃. Leave me alone. She says as she bumps into a wall. The guy has 𝗵𝗃 against the wall. Random guy, well, I want asking. He says as he grabs 𝗵𝗃's wrist. 𝗵𝗃, let me go. She says as she tries to pull her hand away from him. Random guy, shut up or I'll make you. He says as he pulls out a gun. 𝗵𝗃 sees the gun and is scared. 𝗵𝗃, please, let me go. Random guy, this is your last warning. Shut up or I'm putting a bullet in your head. 𝗵𝗃 is scared but remembers Izuku is here. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, help me. Random guy, who the 𝗵𝗃 is Izuku as he says that he is shoved into a wall. Random guy, what the 𝗵𝗃? The guy looks up and sees Izuku standing there, shirtless. Izuku, are you okay, 𝗵𝗃? He says as he starts to check her. 𝗵𝗃, I'm fine, Izuku, watch out. She shouts as she sees the guy aiming his gun at Izuku. Random guy, you son of 𝗵𝗃. He shouts at Izuku as he pulls the trigger. But thanks to Izuku's danger sense, he grabs 𝗵𝗃 and dodges the bullet. Izuku gets away from the guy and lets 𝗵𝗃 go. Izuku, stay here, 𝗵𝗃. He says as he is about to run off. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, wait. But she doesn't get a chance to say anything because Izuku is already gone. 𝗵𝗃, please be careful, Izuku. We see Izuku as he just arrived back to the guy. Random guy, how are you so fast? Izuku, that's not you concern, criminal. He says as Izuku takes a stance. Izuku, now drop the gun or I will take you down. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗧𝗵𝗃, why should I? He shouts as he aims the gun at Izuku. Izuku, you don't want to wake up with broken bones, do? He says as he glares at the guy. The guy feels a chill go down his spine and two-hands the gun. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, whatever. He shouts as he starts to shoot at Izuku. Izuku dodges the bullets and moves closer to the guy as he does. As he is close enough, he shoulder tackles the guy into the wall. The guy falls on the floor and aims the gun at Izuku, but Izuku kicks the gun out of his hand. The guy tries to kick Izuku's knee but Izuku avoids it and kicks his leg. The guy screams in pain and holds his leg. The guy looks up to Izuku one last time before getting his face stomped into the wall, getting knocked out. The citizens that were watching come out of cover and start to call the police. Izuku kicks the gun away from the unconscious guy and as he does, 𝗵𝗃 tackles him into a hug but Izuku catches her. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, are you okay? Izuku, I'm fine 𝗵𝗃, but are you okay? 𝗵𝗃, I was scared, but I think I'm okay. Izuku, good, I'm sorry I didn't hear you sooner. 𝗵𝗃, it's okay, I'm just glad you saved me. She says as she puts her face in his face. 𝗵𝗃, thank you so much Izuku. Izuku, why you're welcome 𝗵𝗃. He says as he hugs her back. As they are hugging, 𝗵𝗃 realizes Izuku is shirtless and blushes. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, what? He says as he looks down. He sees 𝗵𝗃 is blushing and then realizes he is shirtless. Izuku. He breaks the hug and goes back into the changing stall. He come back out with a shirt and they both just stand there awkwardly. Izuku, 𝗬𝗏, I think it's time we go home. 𝗵𝗃, why up? And they both begin to leave the store. Cashier, 𝗬𝗏, you still have to pay. He says as he runs up to Izuku and 𝗵𝗃. Izuku, oh, right, I'm sorry I forgot. Cashier, it's okay, just pay for the clothes. Izuku nods and pays the cashier. Cashier, thank you, and thank you for stopping that guy. Izuku, it was nothing, he would have hurt more people if I didn't. Cashier, it's not nothing. You dodges those bullets like it was nothing. He says as he goes up to Izuku. Cashier, how did you do that? It's like you have superpowers. Izuku and I was just faster. The cashier buys Izuku's excuse. Cashier, either way, you were like a superhero. He says as he pumps his fist in the air. Izuku, hero. Cashier, 𝗵𝗃, yeah, my hero. She says as she hugs Izuku's arm. Izuku, hero, 𝗵𝗃, anyways, let's go home Izuku, I'm getting tired. Izuku, alright, let's go. Izuku and 𝗵𝗃 say bye to the cashier and begin to walk back to the shack. Time skip, we see 𝗵𝗃 and Izuku just arriving at the shack. Izuku, I'm sorry about today, we were supposed to have fun today 𝗵𝗃, it's okay Izuku, I had fun today. Izuku, you did. 𝗵𝗃, we got to spend the whole day together, I just wanted to be with you today. Izuku, I did enjoy my time with you. 𝗵𝗃, so did I. She says as they arrive at the front door. 𝗵𝗃, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow Izuku. Yeah, she then opens the door and is about to go inside. Until Izuku stops her by taking her hand. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku. As she turns around she receives an embrace on the lips by Izuku and is shocked. He breaks the embrace and immediately enters the shack blushing. 𝗵𝗃 is standing there still processing what had happened. She eventually realizes what happened and starts to celebrate. 𝗵𝗃, did it, I got a boyfriend. Yes. And as she is celebrating, Izuku hears her celebrating and smiles to himself, still blushing by what he did. He goes inside his room and sees Eri is asleep in his bed. He also sees Mystique sleeping in a ball next to Eri. He smiles at the sight of Eri and Mystique sleeping together. He takes his shoes off and gets in bed. He accidentally wakes Mystique and she looks at Izuku. Izuku, sorry Mystique doesn't care and gets up. She walks over to Izuku and gets on his stomach. She curls up in a ball on his stomach and falls back asleep. Izuku smiles as he can feel Mystique purring his stomach. He lays his hand on Mystique and starts to pet her soft fur and goes to sleep with his hands still on Mystique. Anyways, we see Izuku as he wakes up in bed. He is about to sit up until realizes Mystique is asleep on his stomach. He rubs his eyes and looks to his side to see Eri, hugging his side. Izuku, he wraps his arm around her and gently pets her head. He then lays his other hand on 𝗵𝘃𝗃 and starts to caress her fur. As she does this, she starts to purr and he can feel the purrs and he finds it comforting. He lays back and enjoys this moment. He looks out the window and sees the sun is already out. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲, I'll just lay here a bit longer. He closes his eyes and enjoys the silence. But little does he know that the girls were watching him through the crack of the door. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, oh my god. They look so cute right now. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, I know. 𝗵𝗲𝗄, we need to get a picture. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, but how? They think for a bit and then they all look towards 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, what? 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄, you can fly right. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, yeah 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄, so that means it'll be easier for you to get a picture without making nosy and with the perfect angle. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I'm not sure girls, what if he catches me? 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄, you'll be fine 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, just keep quiet, she says as she gives her phone to 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, I mean, why can't 𝗵𝗃𝗄 do it? 𝗵𝗃𝗄, I would definitely do it, but I can only be able to touch objects every now and then. It gets me tired, she says as she takes 𝗵𝗃𝗄's phone from 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, I can only carry an object for a certain amount of time, but technology is something I can't do, she says as it slowly phases through her hand. 𝗵𝗃𝗄 catches the phone before it hits the ground and gives it back to 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, for some reason, I can't hold on to something with electricity. I don't know why, but I just can't. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, alright, I got this, she says as she starts floating with her quirk and opens the door. The girls hide behind the walls and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 goes in. She floats up to the roof and takes a picture. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, ah, that's just so cute, she says as she does a twirl in the air. But as she does, she drops the phone and it starts falling at Izuku's face. The girls, 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, no. They whisper loudly as the phone starts to fall. But before the phone hits his face, he uses his black WHP and catches the phone. He opens his eyes and sees 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 floating above him. They are both inches from each other's face as 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 was trying to catch it. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, hi. Izuku, hi. He greets her as he gives her an embrace on her nose. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, 𝗧𝗏. She covers her face as she floats up higher with a blush growing on her face. 𝗵𝗃𝗲, hey, no fair. 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄, we want it. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. 𝗵𝗃𝗄 and cuddles. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. Izuku, shh. 𝗬𝗏𝗄 is still asleep. 𝗬𝗏𝗄, but I'm awake, Papa. As she says this, everyone looks at her. Izuku, when did you wake up? 𝗬𝗏𝗄, when my other mamas came in. She says as she points at the girls. Izuku, I see, and as he says this, 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗲 gets up and stretches on Izuku's stomach. Her claws dig into his skin and he winces in pain. Izuku, ow ow ow. 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃, your claws. He shouts as he picks her up and sets her on the floor. 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃 meows and sits on the floor staring at Izuku. Izuku *(sigh*) hey 𝗬𝗏𝗄, can I talk to the girls for a sec? 𝗬𝗏𝗄, of course, Papa. She says as she gets off the bed and picks up 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃. 𝗬𝗏𝗄, come on 𝗵𝘃𝗃, let's go see what Uncle 𝗬𝗃 is doing. She says as she runs off with 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃 in her arms. Izuku gets up and closes the door as 𝗬𝗏𝗄 leaves. Izuku, now girls, we need to talk, he says as he starts to emit green electricity. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟, oh no, she says as she floats behind the girls. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku, we didn't mean to wake her up. Izuku, do you know how comfortable I was with 𝗬𝗏𝗄 and 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃? 𝗵𝗃𝗄, and no Izuku, it was so nice that I can't even tell you in words. He starts to walk towards the girls. Izuku, but the worst thing of all, 𝗵𝗃𝗄, you girls are on your own. The girls, what? 𝗵𝗃𝗄, bye. She says as she goes through the wall. The girls, 𝗵𝗃𝗄, you traitor. Izuku, you woke up. He starts to walk towards them. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku, we are really sorry. She says as she walks towards Izuku. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, didn't mean to wake her up. Izuku, maybe we can make it up to you 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗄. Before she could finish, she is interrupted by Izuku grabbing her. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku. Izuku, don't worry 𝗵𝗃𝗄, I won't hurt you, I'm just gonna make you laugh until it hurts. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, why you don't mean? Izuku, oh I do 𝗵𝗃𝗄, no, anything but that please. Izuku, don't worry, you're not the only one getting it, he says as he uses his black WHP and closes the door. The girls tried to escape through the door but Izuku stopped them. Izuku, there's no escape from me girls, he says as he grabs the others with his black WHP. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, please Izuku, we'll do anything. 𝗵𝗃𝗄, Izuku, please. Izuku, now you shall feel my wrath. The girls, no, and Izuku tickled them until they couldn't move. Meanwhile, We see Dipper and 𝗬𝗧, who is playing with 𝗬𝗧 and 𝗵𝘃𝗃. They are in the living room and Dipper is going through channels, trying to find something to watch. But then he goes to a channel that catches his interest. Dipper, who's this? 𝗬𝗧, who's who? Dipper, this Gideon guy. 𝗬𝗧, oh that dude. Yeah, he just came into town and they say he can read your minds. 𝗬𝗧, read minds. 𝗬𝗧, it's like where someone can tell what you're thinking of. Here, let me try and read your mind. 𝗬𝗧, okay, what color am I thinking of? 𝗬𝗧, I know this, hold on. You're thinking of the color apple. 𝗬𝗧, he, Uncle 𝗬𝗧, apple isn't a color. 𝗬𝗧, oh it isn't. Hold on, let me try again. What about as he is thinking, he looks at 𝗵𝘃𝗃. 𝗬𝗧, cat. He shouts as he lifts 𝗵𝘃𝗃. 𝗬𝗧 just laughs as he is standing there with 𝗵𝘃𝗃 in his hands. Dipper laughs to himself a bit and goes back to the TV. Dipper, might as well check it out. He says as he gets up. Dipper, hey 𝗬𝗧, wanna go see that telepathic guy? 𝗬𝗧, but let's ask Papa if he wants to come. Dipper, alright, come on 𝗬𝗧, let's go ask him. 𝗬𝗧, okay. As she says this, 𝗵𝘃𝗃 jumps out of 𝗬𝗧's hands and follows 𝗬𝗧. 𝗬𝗧, you dudes have fun, I'm gonna go fix some pipes or whatever. He says as he runs out of the living room. Dipper and 𝗬𝗧 are at the front door with 𝗵𝘃𝗃 next to 𝗬𝗧. Dipper, hey Izuku, we wanted to know if you wanted to go, and he says as he opens the door but then sees the girls are on the floor and they can't move. Dipper, what happened here? 𝗵𝘃𝗃, tea tickled us to death Wendy, I can't feel my stomach 𝗳𝗧𝗟𝗘, it hurts to laugh. 𝗳𝗵𝗃𝗷 Izuku, I'm sorry girls, I guess I went a bit overboard, he says as he rubs the back of his head. The girls, you thinks? Izuku, don't worry girls, I'll make it up to you, okay? He says as he starts to give each and one of them embrace on the lips. Izuku, does cuddles and sound okay? 𝗵𝗵𝗃, with a movie the girls, yeah? And then we're okay Izuku, that sounds like a deal. The girls, nice Izuku, anyways, what were you taking about? Dipper, oh right, me and 𝗬𝗧 wanted to know if you wanted to go to this show. Izuku, oh, sure I'll come, let me just get my wallet. 𝗬𝗧, she cheers as she runs over to Izuku and hugs his leg. Izuku, 𝗧𝗍, 𝗬𝗧, why don't you go and wait outside with Dipper? 𝗬𝗧, okay. And she runs off with Dipper and 𝗵𝘃𝗃. Izuku, alright girls, he goes to the counter and grabs his wallet. Izuku, I'll see you later, okay? The girls will be waiting for you Izuku, okay? I love you. And he runs out. The girls love you too Izuku. As they say this, Evelyn comes back and she sees the girls on the floor. Evelyn, did you have fun? 𝗳𝗧𝗟𝗘, not gonna lie, that was kind of fun the girls, yeah. Time skip, we see Izuku, Dipper and 𝗬𝗧, along with 𝗵𝘃𝗃 as she is on Izuku's shoulder. They are sitting on some chairs and they were able to get front row seats. Izuku, so you're telling me that this guy can read people's minds? Dipper, yeah, and I don't buy it, well unless he's like you. Izuku, we'll see. 𝗬𝗧, Papa look, it's starting. As she says this, the curtains move out of the way revealing a man. But now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the telepathical mind reader, Gideon. As he says this, a small kid in a baby blue suit with really tall white hair walks in and introduces himself. Gideon, why hello there, I'm Gideon. 𝗬𝗧, Papa, why does he look like a baby? Izuku, I do not know 𝗬𝗧, and I don't know why his hair is really unique. 𝗬𝗧, he looks funny. Izuku, yeah he does. Dipper, even though I agree with you, I think he can hear us. He says as he points at Gideon. Gideon, my oh my, it seems we have some very chatty fans. He says as the spotlight goes on Izuku and 𝗬𝗧. Izuku, hi. 𝗬𝗧, Papa, why is he still pointing at us? Izuku, I don't know, he says as he shrugs his shoulders. Gideon, now, may I know both of your names? Izuku, alright, I'm Izuku Midoriya, and this is my daughter 𝗬𝗧. 𝗬𝗧, hello Gideon, now question, why does she have a horn on her head? He says as he points at her. 𝗬𝗧 puts her head into Izuku's 𝗧𝗍 as she starts to get nervous. Izuku, why is your hair so freakishly weird? He says as he likes back at Gideon. Gideon, hey, what makes you think I'll tell you? Izuku, well, what makes you think I have to tell about my daughter condition? The audience begins to mutter about Izuku's reason and most of them agree with Izuku's reason. Gideon shut up. His little outburst is noticed and the audience starts to complain about his attitude. Gideon ***, sorry about that, I don't know what got over me. Anyways, let's begin our show. he says as he fixes his hair. Gideon, now, you are all here to witness my mind-reading abilities, correct? The crowd agree, while Izuku and Dipper stay silent. Izuku, you okay, sweetie? Eri, Izuku, okay, so you want to stay like this? Eri, Izuku, okay, Eri, just lay your head on my shoulder, okay? Eri, okay, Gideon, now, who shall go first? He says as he starts aiming his finger at people. Then Gideon's finger lands on Izuku. Gideon, my, it seems Midoriya is our lucky guy. Izuku, I'm not really sure I want a child reading my mind. Gideon, too late. And as he starts to read Izuku's mind, Gideon is sent somewhere. Gideon, where am I? He asks himself as he looks around. All he can see is a dark void of nothingness around him. Gideon, hello. Is anyone there? Who is this child? Gideon turns around and sees a woman with a yellow cape. Don't know, don't care, get him out of here. Alright. See ya, shorty. And Gideon is kicked out of Izuku's mind. And as he wakes up from the floor. But Gideon, are you okay? Gideon, get off of me. He shouts as he pushes Bud off of him. Izuku, he holds his head with his hand as the other is holding Eri. Dipper, Izuku, you okay? Izuku, why yeah, just a slight headache. Eri, Papa, can we leave? Izuku, yeah, this is getting boring anyways, let's go. He says as he gets up with Eri in his arms. Mystique rubs her head against Izuku's head and his face. Izuku, I guess Mystique wants to leave too. Dipper, alright, let's go. And they begin to leave. As they leave, Gideon is sitting on the floor and watches Izuku leave. Gideon, why couldn't I read his mind? He questions himself as he holds his amulet. Gideon, there's something interesting about Midoriya, and I'll find out what's so special about him, and his amulet starts to glow. Gideon, I will Bud, you'll what? Gideon, shut up, I'm doing a self-monologue. Bud, okay. Meanwhile, Izuku is wondering what had happened. When Gideon read his mind, Izuku's head started to hurt. Izuku, maybe it was just a coincidence, maybe I'm not drinking enough water. Reminder, always stay hydrated. Anyways, Izuku continues to think until Mystique his face and meows. Izuku, you know, sometimes I think you more than just a cat, Mystique. Mystique meows and rubs her head against his cheek. Izuku, I guess I'm just good with cats, but whatever. Eri, Papa, who are you talking to? Izuku, I was talking to myself since I am bored right now. Dipper, don't worry, Izuku, I do the same when I'm writing stuff in my notebook. He says as he rubs his back. Dipper, speaking of notebooks, is it okay if I ask you some questions about your quirks, including Eri's if that's okay with her? Izuku, I'll happily tell you about mine, but you'll have to ask Eri. Dipper, alright. Hey Eri, is it okay if I ask some questions about your quirk? Eri, Dipper, okay? Thank you, Eri. He says as he pets her head. Eri giggles as Dipper pets her head. Izuku, alright, so what do you want to know? Dipper, okay, so first he pulls his notebook out. Dipper, how many quirks do you have? Izuku, I think I have 8 quirks. Dipper, can you tell me them? Izuku, yeah, and Izuku continues to answer his questions on his and Eri's quirk. Time skip, after a long walk back to the mystery shack, they finally arrive and enter the shack. Izuku ***, God, that was a long walk, Dipper. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, see you both tomorrow, and thank you for the information. Izuku, you're welcome, and good night. Eri, good night, Uncle Dipper. Dipper, good night, Eri. And he goes upstairs to his room. Izuku, let's go to our room. He heads upstairs and is in front of his room. Izuku, I can't wait for 𝗵𝗲, and as he opens his door, he sees the girls on the bed and floor with a TV on his dresser. Izuku, yo, hey girls, Wendy. Izuku, you're just in time. 𝗵𝗃, take your shoes off before coming in, we are about to start the movie. Eri, mamas, can I watch? 𝗵𝗲, of course you can, Eri. She says as she goes up to Izuku and takes Eri out of his arms. 𝗵𝗲, Jesus, Izuku, you look tired. Izuku, I've went months without sleep before. I'm fine, he says as he shakes his head. Mabel, Izuku, are you sure you can watch with us? You don't have to. Izuku, no, I totally got this. Let's watch that movie. He says as he walks to the girls and sits on the floor next to Evelyn. 𝗵𝗲 sits next to Izuku and Eri sits on her lap as Mystique jumps down from Izuku's shoulder and lays on his lap. Izuku, Mystique. I forgot you were on my shoulder, he says as he pets her. She starts to purr and this gets Izuku even more tired as he starts to relax. Izuku, you sure you can stay up? Izuku 𝗬𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗘 okay then, and they start the movie. Time skip. The movie is over and the girls stretch. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗏, that movie was awesome. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗃, it was okay Evelyn, it couldn't used more action 𝗵𝗃𝗃, I agree, it kinda got bring near the end. Wendy, I thought it was okay 𝗵𝗃𝗏, what do you think Izuku? He doesn't answer her. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izuku. The girls face Izuku and see he is asleep with Mystique on his lap. Izuku has his head laying on 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗃's shoulder and the girls smile. 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗃, well, I guess he couldn't stay up 𝗵𝗃𝗃, it's fine though writes. Evelyn, yeah, he did try and stay up Wendy and he did watch the movie, like he said he would. She moves around in 𝗵𝗃𝗃's arms and she smiles. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, come on girls, let's go to bed Evelyn, I don't need sleep, but what's stopping me by cuddling with Izuku? Wendy, that sounds nice 𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗃, it does 𝗵𝗃𝗃 okay, let's get them in bed after some teamwork. They eventually get Izuku and Eri in bed. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, alright girls, let's get comfortable 𝗵𝗃𝗃 on it. She runs out of Izuku's room and a millisecond later, she comes back in a full-body pajama. It's pink and has a shooting star on it that looks like it was stitched on. Wendy, that was quick. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 crawls in the bed and holds onto Izuku and Eri. The girls get comfortable and crawl in bed with Izuku. Evelyn teleports away and back with an oversized shirt on. She gets in bed and cuddles with Izuku. With the girls now comfortable, they start to fall asleep. They have Eri laying on Izuku as they cuddle with Izuku. And before they go to bed, they all give Izuku an embrace on his lips, one by one. The girls, good night Izuku, and as they say that they all fall asleep. Meanwhile, we see Mystique as she jumps to the roof of the shack. She then turns to a 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗏 of smoke and transforms. She turns into a girl and is sitting on the edge of the rooftop. She has yellow eyes and is wearing a black oversized shirt. She is also wearing shorts. She has cat ears and a black tail. Mystique, one day Izuku, I will show you my true form, she says as she looks up to the sky. Mystique, one day, she says as she smiles with a small blush. And we see Gideon as he is in his room and is on his desk. He is trying to think about what had happened with when he tried to read his mind. Gideon, is the amulet broken? He looks at it and it's fine. Gideon, grr, what went wrong? He says as he gets up and throws his chair at the wall. Suddenly Gideon remembers something. Gideon, there were people in his mind and they kicked me out of his mind. He goes to his desk and pulls out a journal that has a golden hand print on it with the number 2 on it. He goes through the journal and finds nothing about what happened. Gideon, maybe he knows something, and if he does I will get him to tell me. He says as the amulet starts to glow. Gideon, even if it costs someone their life, and he starts to laugh maniacally. But, hey Gideon, do you want some ice creams? Gideon, no, get out. But okay. And he closes the door. And Gideon turns around and starts to laugh maniacally again. We starts this chapter off as we see Izuku sleeping. While he is sleeping we see him wake up in a dark area. He looks around and sees nothing but darkness. He tries to talk but can't. He looks down and sees he is covered in a dark green cloud. Izuku, where am I? You are in your mind. He looks around, wondering who said that. Izuku, wait, you can hear me. Well, we are in your mind. Izuku, oh right, but who are you? Nana, it's me, Nana Shimura, the 7th user of One for All. Izuku, Nana. Nana, yes, it's me, do you remember? She says as she walks up to him. Izuku, oh, I remember now. But why are you taking to me now? Nana, I've been trying to reach you for so long, but something here was making it difficult to. Izuku, so something here is stopping you from taking to me. Nana, yes, and I think I know what it is. She says as she sits down in front of him. Nana, do you remember that child that tried reading your mind? Izuku, yeah, he had it though. Nana, he did enter your mind, but we stopped him from reading your mind. Izuku, so that's why my head was hurting. Nana, yes, but we saw something he had. It was some sort of amulet around his neck, but it's not a normal amulet. Izuku, wait, I think I know what you're saying. Nana, yes, the amulet is what is causing the problem. Izuku, so, do I have to destroy it? Nana, yes, it is the only way. Izuku, okay, but how do I get it? Nana, that is something you will have to find out. Izuku, but where are the other predecessors? You said we stopped him, but where are the others? Nana, Izuku's other predecessors have faded away. Izuku, what do you mean? Nana, the amulet is not only making it strong to talk to you, but it's also destroying us. Izuku, are you saying the other predecessors are gone? Nana, yes, they used the last of their energy to help me speak to you. Izuku, wait, so that means you're gonna fade away? Nana, yes, I don't have much time. Izuku, you must hurry. Izuku, okay, I'll destroy the amulet if it means you survive. Nana, okay, please hurry. Izuku, she says as she holds Izuku's cheek. Izuku, Nana, what are you doing? Nana, good luck. Izuku, she says as she his forehead. Izuku wakes up and sits up in bed, breathing heavily. This wakes the girls up and they see Izuku. Tambri, Izuku, what's wrong? Izuku, I need to go do something real quick, he says as he gets out of bed. Nijire, where are you going? As she asks, Izuku goes to his closet and pulls out his hero costume. Izuku, a predecessor of One for All, talked to me, and I need to save her. He says as he starts to put it on. Wendy, what are you talking about? Izuku, I'll explain it later. He says as he has his hero costume on. As he runs out, Evelyn gets in the way. Evelyn, Izuku, what is going on? Izuku, I'm sorry, Evelyn, but I have to hurry. He says as he runs past her. Evelyn, you better have a good reason when you get back. Izuku. Izuku, I will. Izuku runs to Dipper's rooms and kicks the door open. Izuku, Dipper. Dipper, He screams as he falls off the bed. Dipper, what the heck? Izuku. Izuku, I'm sorry, but I need your help. Dipper, okay, what this it? He says as he gets up. Izuku, do you know where Gideon lives? Dipper, why would I know that? Izuku, I don't know, you're really smart, so I assumed you did. Dipper ***, well, if I has to guess, then I would look around town. He says as he goes to the window. Dipper, try checking a house. He looked rich when we went to his show. So look for a building that looks like a rock person would live in. Izuku, alright, thanks for the help. He says as he opens the window and jumps out of it. Dipper, you're welcome. Izuku. And Izuku Spider-Mans his way through the forest, into town. Time skip. After some searching, Izuku ends up at a big white house. Izuku looks through the windows and eventually finds Gideon's room. He looks in the room and sees the amulet around Gideon's neck. Izuku opens the window and crawls in. Izuku, okay, destroy the amulet and you'll save Nana. You got this, Izuku. He walks over to Gideon and sees the amulet. He goes to grab it, but Gideon wakes up. Izuku, oh Gideon, what the woe are you? Izuku, CRP. He tries to grab it, but Gideon uses his telekinesis and pushes Izuku. Izuku crashes into the desk and a book falls on his head. It lands on his lap and sees a gold handprint on it. Izuku, wait, that looks like the book Dipper has, he says as he picks it up. Gideon, drop that. He says as he grabs the book with his telekinesis. He pulls the book toward him and grabs Izuku as well. Gideon, I'm not gonna ask again, who are you? Izuku, how is he doing this? Izuku looks to Gideon and sees the amulet glowing. Izuku, it's the amulet. Gideon then throws Izuku at a wall. Izuku crashes through it and ends up outside. Izuku, how do I get to him? He keeps grabbing. Izuku says as he jumps to the roof. Gideon, where are you? He says as he runs outside with the book. Izuku, okay, I gotta be stealthy. He says as he goes into the shadows. Izuku, it's too bright out, I gotta turn the lights off. He says as he goes to destroy the lights. Izuku, I hope that have insurance. One by one the lights get destroyed, making it harder to see for Gideon. Gideon, minute, where are you? Gideon shouts out. As he does, Bud comes out to see what the ruckus is. As he does, Izuku goes to snatch the amulet and misses. Gideon sees Izuku and goes to grab him but misses as Izuku uses smoke screen. Gideon can't see anything and Izuku goes for the amulet. Izuku rips it off and jumps back. Gideon, no, give it back. He says as he goes to reach for it. Izuku throws it to the ground and stomps on it. It breaks to pieces and Gideon runs to it. Gideon, no, my amulets. He says as he picks the pieces up. Bud is standing there as Gideon is trying to put it back together. But maybe with some glue, we could fix it. Gideon, shut up, old man. Bud, okay Gideon, and you, I don't know who you are, but I will find out who you are and ruin you. He says as he runs at him. Gideon throws a punch but Izuku dodges it and lifts him in the air by his shirt. As Gideon tries to break free, he drops the book and Izuku notices it. Izuku, what's this? He says in a deep voice as he throws Gideon to the side. Izuku picks it up and opens the book. He reads through it and sees pictures of creatures and other things. Izuku, this is like the journal Dipper has. He says as he closes the book. Izuku, I'll give this to Dipper, he'll know what to do with this. He says as he puts it in his suit. Gideon, no, give that back. He says as he runs at him. Gideon throws a rock at him but Izuku dodges it. Izuku uses black WHP and lifts Gideon to the roof. He places him there and runs off. Before Izuku escapes, Bud takes a picture of Izuku with his phone and puts it away. Gideon, get me down from here, old man. He shouts at his dad. But don't worry, I'll get you down. He says as he goes to get a ladder. Gideon, I will find you, and I will destroy you. He shouts to Izuku. Time skip, Izuku lands in front of the mystery shack. And goes inside. He closes the door and takes his mask off. Izuku **few** okay, I destroyed the amulet, and saved the predecessors. Good job me. He says as he high-fives himself. As he does, the lights go on and he hears someone cough behind him. He slowly turns around and sees the girls, Dipper, Grunkle Stan, Seuss, Eri and even Mystique. Izuku, I can explain Wendy. Oh really? Evelyn, well, can you explain this? She says as Mystique pushes a button on the remote. The TV goes on and the news is on. News reporter, are we on? Okay, this is the news reporting to you live. We are currently with Gideon as he was robbed by someone. She says as she goes to Gideon. News reporter, and what do you have to say about this? Gideon, it was horrible. I was sleeping in my bed and I woke up and saw a scary man going through my window. I tried to fight him but he was just too strong. He tried to take my amulet but I pushes him and he broke it. News reporter, that must have been a terrifying encounter, but can you explain the huge hole in your house? Gideon, he have powers, to blow a hole in my wall and escaped. News reporter, I see, and we have a photo of what the robber looks like. She says as a photo goes up. Just without the backpack. News reporter, if you have any information on who this is, please alert the authorities. And they turn the TV off. Izuku, Seuss, yo, you look cool dude. Wendy, Seuss, that's not the point right now. Tamarby, Izuku, what were you thinking? She says as she shakes Izuku. Izuku, stop shaking me so I can explain. He says as she lets him go. Izuku **sigh**, okay look. When I was asleep one of the 𝗲𝗲 predecessors talked to me. Ниjar, well really? Izuku, yeah, she told me that I had to destroy the amulet as soon as possible. Dipper, what, why? Izuku, the amulet wasn't normal, it was magical and it wasn't allowing her to speak to me. Evelyn, okay, but why did she want to destroy it immediately? Izuku, it was causing the predecessors to fade away. She told me the predecessors used everything they had left to give her the chance to talk to me, Mabel, so that's why you were in such a hurry. Izuku, yeah, she was running out of time so I had to be quick. Dipper, okay, but did you have to kick my door down? Izuku, maybe Nijar, well, did it work? Izuku, I'm not sure, I'll have to wait until they talk to me again. Grunkle Stan, well, I don't know what's going on, but I heard you stole something. He says as he rubs his hands together. Izuku, I wouldn't say stealing, more like borrowing. He says as he pulls a book out of his suit. He shows it to them and two people are shocked. Grunkle Stan, wait, he found the other one. Dipper, whoa, that looks like the one I have. He says as he takes his journal out. Grunkle Stan, wait, Dipper has the other one too. Izuku, yeah, I noticed you had one like this but the number is different. Dipper, yeah it does. Izuku, here, you see what's in it. I'm gonna go back to sleep. He says as he gives Dipper the book and walks back to his room. Tambry, I call dibs on his ___. She says as she grabs Izuku's arm and runs upstairs. Mystique and Eri run with Tamarby. Evelyn, hey, no fair. The girls, yeah. And they run after them. while Dipper runs up to his room with the journals. "Seuss, well, good night, Grunkle Stan," he says as he walks out of the living room. "Grunkle Stan, how did the kid find the journal? How did Dipper have a journal? And how am I gonna get them both?" he says as he walks out of the living room, thinking of ways to get the journals. Time skip again. Izuku is asleep with the girls and Eri sleeping with him. As Izuku is sleeping, he wakes up in a dark area. "Izuku, I'm back. And I can talk this time," he says as he stands up. "Izuku, at least I can move now." He then looks around and sees nothing but darkness. "Izuku, 𝗵𝗃 anyone?" he calls out. "Izuku, oh no, was I too late?" "Nana, no." Izuku turns around and sees Nana. "Izuku, 𝗵𝗃, you're still here," he says as he walks towards her. "Izuku, but where are the others?" he says as he looks around. "Nana, too don't know, I thought they would come back but they aren't." "Izuku, I'm so sorry," he says as he goes up to her and hugs her. "Nana, too failed them," she says as she starts to tear up. "Izuku, don't blame yourself, Nana beeb." "Izuku, look at me," he says as he holds her cheek. "Izuku, you couldn't stop it. We tried to save them but it was too late. Don't blame yourself for something we couldn't stop, okay?" he says as he has tears in his eyes. Nana nods as she starts to cry. Izuku hugs her as she falls to her knees. She cries into his shoulder and he comforts her as he has tears run down his face.